Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do either.
Andrew, you should see the memes I sent you.
I'm pretty sure it's the first thing that we've got on stream.
Oh yeah? Is my maniacal cackling?
Yes, it is.
Maniacal laughter. Maniacal laughter. Maniacal laughter.
Oh, but they're so funny.
Maniacal laughter. Comical, maniacal laughter, Ethan. He comes and goes. He comes and goes.
Oof. Alright, I'll be going now.
Alright, so there you
Also,
go.
I realized I forgot to read the last quote on the list.
Yeah, oh
last
yes.
session, which was the one about Jareth.
Oh, which one? Oh yes,
Oh.
folks are starting out with a quote today.
Who's Jareth?
And Jareth, he gets any further up his own ass, he'd be like, kiss his tonsils.
Wait, who the heck is
Do
Jareth?
you remember? Was he the little one? Or
No.
He was the little one.
No,
right?
he's Shatner Orc.
He's
Oh,
Shatner.
right.
Shatner Orc.
Rosa was explaining why she decided to come with us. To which the response was basically, the guys have no common sense, get into trouble, and they're guys.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Yep.
Alright, so...
She also asked a lot about here.
About what now?
You.
Oof.
she asked a lot about...
Is when you were little with your brother like that when you were little?
She asked a lot about Fenmir. She asked a little about what now? I feel like there's some sort of rhyme. There needs to be a you know how there's the Pokey rap? We need to have a Fenmir rap at the end of our session.
Oof.
Alright, we need to get started.
I don't know what I just came back into, and I'm not
See,
sure I want to.
here's the thing. I explicitly stated that I wanted all the characters to be paired up by the end of our first campaign. That was an abject failure. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Actually, this entire thing came out of the blue, which is true. Don't laugh at me, Tasha. It is. This is just...
Oh my god! I'm reading the quotes, and oh my god!
Yeah, you missed some interesting stuff.
You did. So, if you didn't watch last episode, go and watch it to experience the glory that is the quotes.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, you guys are in a sketchy inn.
Yes.
You guys are in the something serpent inn. The sleeping serpent? Not the sleeping serpent. Sleeping serpent's an entirely different inn. What inn are we in? Anybody remember the name of the inn we're in?
No.
Was it something with Venom?
Was it? Is this the same inn? The inn that's above the guard tower?
No. This is...
Okay,
No.
This is
They
a...
told us to come back in a few days when they were ready to take our testimony, but we could go out. And before we split up, I was like, maybe we should find a place to stay. And then I immediately rolled a natural one trying to find an inn and brought us to a sketchy place.
It's at the end of an alley.
We got all our stuff back, right?
Yes. You know what? There's actually a chance that I wrote it down somewhere else. It's weird, but you know what? So is there anything you guys want to do? You guys are in this inn. You have no place to go.
How sketchy is it?
Well,
How bad have I gotten us screwed here?
let's see. You guys stepped inside to this sketchy inn at the end of the So the first thing that you're gonna notice is that like it's dark. It's very dark in here. There is one fire going, and even then it's being kept very low. You're in like a long, low, single room. There are no chairs. This is something that you did notice about the other bar. But there's like a bunch of like velvet pillows sort of scattered around. There's some low tables that look.
Escaped into the house.
What was that?
But
I heard something about into the house.
I heard dental house.
I'm not sure what I heard.
I don't. So Noah's made friends at the dental house.
Noah, are you trying to talk?
No, did you fall through the floor of your attic?
No, I feel like he fell through the floor. There would have been a louder noise.
Yes.
No, but straight up, my dad actually fell through the floor of our attic.
oh,
Like,
so
that's a thing.
so did my
Unfortunately, is it okay?
Yes.
so did my grandpa. My grandpa fell through the floor of my
I'm
the
not sure
old
I've ever been in our attic.
Attics are sketchy, man.
attics are sketchy. What's up with that?
Anyway, we're off
So-
track again.
So
Already.
yeah, no, this is terrible.
They're sketchy, just like the inn we're in. There we go.
Yes, they're sketchy, just like the inn we're in, except usually with a little bit less murder. So if anybody remembers the name of the inn that we're in, feel free to zoop that.
What inn are we in?
Kira, where are we? Because Andrew put down his notebook. Yeah, no, I don't think I just honestly didn't make a note of it. Because I'm smart.
Kira's mother partially fell through her balcony. Currently, they have Noah's dark screen.
They only have Noah's dark screen?
When did Wendy fall through a balcony?
Tasha asking the important questions.
It was the something viper.
That's
Maybe
right.
venomous viper.
Or the sleeping viper?
Sleeping Viper, I think, is what it was.
Hey!
Everybody good with the Sleeping Viper?
Sure.
Okay, we're in the
Okay.
Sleeping Viper.
Well, I'm good with the name. I'm not good with the place.
All right, so it's burning
I'm
low.
sorry.
It's burning low, this fire, and it's throwing light on these like red and yellow satin pillows that are kind of scattered around. All the low tables have these woven pink and white striped cloths that kind of fall down out across, and these mats are they're also made of satin, a reddish sort of satin. Any light that's on the tables is like a candle. It's like a little candle with a shade over it, and just the light through them is they're little, almost like glass. I don't want to say glass, but glass or quartz beads that are just kind of throwing these little rippling patterns onto the table around.
Do I see any super sketch people?
Oh,
Anybody that I feel I should not trust?
oh, my friend. The sketch
Feeling I do.
is real. So you see over at the
I don't
bar.
recognize any of these people from the last time I was here. Sorry. I realized I said that before you actually
Yes,
explained that.
that is a question to direct at the lady in black, lurking newly on screen.
Lurking lady.
The lurking lady.
I don't know where we are.
We're in the sketchy inn.
in the sketchy bit. It's the Sleeping Viper. We've decided by consensus that was its name.
And you want to know if you've been here before?
Yes. I was told that this was the place I stayed last time I was in town.
Yes. So if you want to, so you want to know if she recognizes some people.
Does you recognize them?
Yeah. So I can think of somebody that you definitely recognize right off the bat as the bartender. Is there a baby?
I've definitely heard baby noises.
Does somebody have a baby?
Babies. Ugh.
Yeah, it's on Noah's, and remember, there's his baby cousin. Or
That's
something?
right. That's right. Hello, Noah's baby cousin.
Is that Lewis making weird noises?
I
The
don't
rude
know.
word, yeah, that's my nephew.
Lewis makes
Hide.
weird noises, but he doesn't make baby noises. He makes cat noises.
Yes, there was also cats at sleeping places earlier.
All right. So you do recognize the bartender. You know that this bartender is he's a rather broad man. He's a rather it's a pale gentleman with a large handlebar mustache and a rather short cropped haircut, standing behind the bar. The bar is interesting. The bar is like a half moon shape, but it's split into three different portions, three different rounded portions. They're all unusually low. The bartender, everything above their waist is exposed. Just from a seating perspective. So, they're working down low, and all of their bars have both a wet bar side and a grill side. So the bartenders are both grilling and pouring drinks at the same time. The bartender you recognize, he's the one in the middle. And after he catches sight of you, he goes,
They're just staring at me?
no, he's gonna nod at you and go back to what he's doing. That was just Andrew staring by accident.
Okay.
Oh, Demon Noah.
That was a little weird. Okay.
Okay, so
See, I told you guys, it's fine!
so you do know that his that most of the friends call him most people just call him the sergeant.
I'll just give him a nod and
Call the
turn to everybody else and
barkeeper
be
the
like,
sergeant.
Yes.
so? Are y'all gonna be grumpy about this still?
You have a pretty weird idea of things being fine, Savannah.
As for the other people in the bar, sorry, go ahead, Savannah.
No, that was Ben just like trying to come up with words and failing utterly. Like opening her mouth to talk and then closing it again.
How clean is it here? Like, is Stuco sticking to the floor?
Stugo's not sticking to the floor, and you're about to sit down when you look down, and the yellow pillow that you'd be sitting on has like this brownish stain on it, and you're just
Pick Stuco up.
Definitely not blood.
what?
Will they pay us to stay here if we give them a good review?
They should do that. We should make them do that. We could also performance stuff, or tell some weird stories, and then we can keep to stay here. But I don't exactly want to pay to stay places where I think somebody might murder me, and it looks like somebody did get murdered right on that pillow, which is very poor form.
Clover reaches out a foot, taps the pillow, and she's like, "We've slept it worse."
That I can believe.
So other people in the bar, you see that there is there's a man, a rather ragged looking man. You guess him to be about middle aged, unkempt beard, wild hair. He's just very curly grayish hair, just kind of falling over into a ponytail that's starting to come undone. He looks like he's about six drinks deep into the afternoon. Just as a reminder, it's like 12:30. It's like pre-normal lunchtime.
Look, if you guys don't want to stay, it's okay. I understand that I'm a bit messed up and apparently more than I thought. And I figured I'd try to be useful. I'm not going to be terribly offended if you say that you're wigged out and don't want to sleep here.
I do not doubt your attempt to be useful. I merely doubt your taste in hotels.
I wasn't paying last time.
I'm wigged out and don't really want to sleep here, but I will stay here if everyone else is staying here. Also, thank you, Ven, for trying, nonetheless.
Indeed.
I mean, none of us would have gotten very far except maybe Felix, because none of us have been here. And Felix wouldn't have gotten far because he's blind.
I feel Azalea was the most conscientious objector. How is she feeling at this point?
Guys, quick! Everybody who's done Azalea, come together and try to get together a coherent Azalea thought. I have a feeling she'd be upset, but she'd be putting on a good face.
Well,
she'd be trying.
It doesn't look as bad. You know, maybe some of these stronger people will be good protectors of us, and we won't have to worry about the inn being robbed.
That is exactly Azalea.
Azalea, as soon as you finish saying that, Inn's gonna stagger. It looks like it's
Did you say inn?
Inn is going to stagger
Oh,
someone.
Inn is going to stagger from one of the side rooms. Just there's a woman. She looks to be a Jalbari woman. But her hair is not done in the sort of traditional style, which is very blunted sides, blunted bangs. She has very long, very sort of long and loose. She's wearing like adventuring clothes. She's wearing like red leather armor and a studded leather. I don't even know what to say. Like almost like a. You guys know what I'm talking about? I say like a not like a battle skirt, but like what Romans used to wear on the bottom. You know what I'm talking about, like that. So she kind of comes in and she is like she's holding a cup in one hand and she's like staggered. She just wipes out on the floor behind Azalea and you just hear. Just like on the ground.
Oh goodness! Oh, we should help her. Oh my goodness! It smells really bad. Are you okay?
You okay? You just hear.
Azalea's just gonna jump back really quickly.
Oh, there's.
Andrew, you seem to have a thing for having characters vomit on other people's feet.
Oh, you had to bring that up.
Oh, that's right. Foot vomit episode 1.
Although you had me do it to Azalea earlier.
Oh, that's true.
Too.
True. Also, didn't you guys on the island with the boat sickness? When you guys were, boat sickness.
Over here got his feet puked on.
Yep.
I needed new boots anyway.
Uh,
I definitely would not be opposed to maybe just staying here. But if we decide to look around, I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll definitely come look around.
How
this
far
town.
away is this place from a major thoroughfare?
2 turns, about.
So like a 10 to 15 second walk?
Yeah, I'd maybe give it 45, 50, but yeah. I mean, so what you are is, I explained this earlier. So basically, this hotel, this inn, it's a U-shape at the end of a dead-end alleyway that comes out to a side street. That side street goes down into the markets, essentially.
I am going to tap Felix on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the person controlling Felix can currently hear me, but I'm going to tap Felix on the shoulder, and I'm going to guide him back out to the main street, and say, "You are much more charismatic than me. See if you can ask someone to give us advice on a place to stay other than the venomous snake." Was it?
The sleeping viper.
The sleeping viper? Okay. The sleeping viper.
Okay, so, I'm going to assume that Felix is going to stand there, and, well, I'll wait on Felix for a little bit. If not, we'll progress, but... So back in the sleeping viper, you guys are all seeing this woman's laying on the floor. You see that one of the chef bartenders, she's scraping, it looks like maybe mutton off a kebab onto a big plate of bread and rice, and he just carries it over. He steps over her and just walks into the back room.
Okay, so one other metric that we might want to use is to find out how much they're going to charge us for what looks like somewhat uncaring service. And a bit gross. I mean, this might be a good inn, but if they're going to charge us the same amount that we would have to pay to stay at some place that's a bit more opulent, we might as well just go with the opulent place.
In the back room, you hear what sounds like some drunken jeering, some loud chatter when the food arrives. It'd been pretty quiet back there before.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Stupid natural one.
Oh my gosh. Van, how much did you pay to stay here last time?
I wasn't the one paying.
This is
That's
true.
Unfortunate.
I mean, you could ask.
It was a bit of an odd circumstance. And
were you hiding from your stalker?
No.
No.
Quite the opposite.
You were meeting up with him?
With
both Clover and Amari lead in with the same thought.
What did you say?
I said that's the same thing that Clover started to say. So you both lead in at the same time.
No.
To say what?
Were you having sex with your stalker?
Oh God, you people. That's not okay.
No!
I mean, that's usually what it is implied when you walk into
No, okay.
the hotel.
I mean,
The
it is
opposite
one
of
of
avoiding your stalker.
those.
What's the exact opposite of avoidance?
They're really stupid,
It
okay?
was a
Amari's not
while
smart.
back, and I told you that I had a unfortunate experience.
And you were
Right?
much less judging. Sorry.
Um,
What?
about 30 years back, right? This came up last night.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking dead at you, Amari.
Yeah,
It was right after that.
that's awkward.
So I kind of just got put in the old inn before they could get me back where I belong.
Ah.
Ironically,
Seriously
this
having a
was
really
about the
hard
time
time.
that I met the stalker, but no, I was not here having an affair. Get your head out of the gutter!
You said the opposite. You said quite the opposite of
Oh,
avoiding the
when
stalker.
I
Which
met
means
them.
you're cavorting with the stalker, probably.
Oof.
Get your
Sorry.
hands out of my love life! Why is my love life coming up so much?
Because it's interesting. None of us have a stalker. Do you
Count
people
your
have stalkers?
blessings.
Thenmir's not there, but clearly Thenmir has a stalker.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
speaking of,
All right.
Yeah, speaking of, that's one of the things that I wanted to do potentially this session,
What?
because it's not really something that has to happen, or like it's not really something that's going to take very long. Is I just wanted to ask around and see if I could get any information about the symbol on the pendant that I picked up off of the guy that dissolved.
Oh, yeah,
After
sure.
saying that this was going to be on my head, basically.
Yeah.
I want to just kind of like ask around and see if anybody recognizes the symbol.
Sure. Where would you be asking?
I would go to probably a local temple.
All right. Well, that's a place that you know that Felix wants to go quite badly.
Okay.
Is a local temple. So I don't know if you guys are gonna start to head over there.
Well, first I want to figure out this sleeping situation.
All right. So Noah, art thou still in the world of the living?
Gonna take that as a no.
If you are Noah, click the mute button twice. Well, bad news, Noah's not there, and he's an even worse ghost. So, alright, so, I don't know, I'm in a weird mood tonight. I'm sorry, everybody.
Why are you
Why?
apologizing?
I don't know.
your weird moods are entertaining.
Oh, thank you, Tasha.
Sorry, was that insulting?
No,
I didn't mean it to be.
it wasn't.
Social skills. I don't have any.
Guys, socialization just happened.
Civilization?
Socialization. All right. So as you guys are in the inn, eventually, as you guys are kind of standing around talking, eventually, Sarge is gonna wipe off his brow and he's gonna walk over to you. All right, then. What can I do for you?
How much would a room be?
A room for all of us? Well, let's see. All right. So
Somewhere outside, so we might need to go for 2 rooms, but yeah.
well, right. So let's see. How many of you are there? 6? 6 of you?
What in the world is your accent?
Don't know. Just kind of happening.
It's like a mixture of Scottish and Australian.
It's gone all wrong. It's gone all pear-shaped on the front end. Bloody hell.
Is this guy like a transplant from someplace? Did he immigrate here?
Well, you guess so. I mean, he's a rather pale. He's a rather pale man talking with an accent that is not of Jalbar.
What's wrong with your accent?
Pardon?
Wow, rude. I'm really wishing I was here right now.
Madam, I am not from here, in case you hadn't guessed.
I did. Where are you from?
If you
Also, how
must
much is
know.
the room? I'm sorry.
It-
She was asking a question.
He's going to physically, like, turn away from you and towards Servetta. Right, so,
Some people.
in case you must, I am, in fact, from Morrow. But, right, so, You asked
Wow,
me.
his accent just changed to British.
Okay, but you. I'm trying the best I can.
And just compensating for the fact that he forgot that he was in Java.
No, I know where I am. I just don't remember the name of the inn. Because inns are too sketchy. Inns are dumb.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
What? Right. So you there? Tell me. You were asking about the price of a room. Now this be for all of you. But this is all of you. All right. So right now we got only about 2 rooms free. I can sleep 5 in a room.
All right. And how much are the rooms?
Let's see. It's half a cup of each. 2.5, 5 copper for the whole deal.
Let me check in with the rest of the group and see what they think, and I'll get back to you. All right, Sarge?
Alright. Actually,
you.
come back to think of it. No, actually, I've made a mistake there.
Very cheap inn.
Let's call it 4. Let's call it 4. I've overcalculated.
Again, gotta check with the people who are outside.
Very well.
Thanks.
DM,
Yep.
how much are rooms usually? Like, if you want like a nice inn.
Nice inns, usually a gold piece or 2.
Mediocre tavern inns are like 5 silver.
Yeah.
So basically, he's asking for 5 cents versus 50 cents versus $1.
But then again, this is back when you could get
$5.
eggs, potato, breakfast meat, and a coffee, and still get change back from the silver piece. We're back in those days, though.
Yeah, but like we're saying like
As
gold.
opposed to modern days where we still pay for things in silver pieces?
I think that's
Wait,
just
it's a Noah.
you.
It lives.
Yeah, Noah reappears just in time for that.
Yay! Good timing. So
Basically, yeah, it's super cheap.
yeah, no, this is like
This is concerning.
Yeah, like this is beyond cheap.
Yeah, this is like when you start checking for roaches.
this is. Oh, I wish Harley
Do we
was
care
here.
about roaches?
What?
No, I was wishing Harley was here because we could have flashbacks to that motel that we stayed at on Corral Tour.
My God. Wait, no. Did you just ask if Amari would know about roaches?
No, I said, do we care about roaches?
Yes.
Amari, but they can be your friends. Just think of them as more friends, more opportunities to make friends.
No, I prefer stag beetles.
Okay,
They're a
stag
lot more
beetles are cool.
dangerous. And they bite the people that you don't like.
Stag beetles are also cool, though.
Oof.
What'd you say?
Stag beetles are also cool, though.
Exactly. I like them a lot better than roaches. One time I saw a roach that was bigger than my hand.
Alright, moving along
All
because
right.
Ethan really does not like insects.
Alright, so, meanwhile, in the great outdoors, we have, our good friends. We have Ven, and we have, Felix, who I almost called Harold for some reason.
You're gonna really have to soften up on the TH in my nickname if you want to be able to tell it apart from a V.
Fen.
Yeah,
Fen.
isn't it thin?
Yeah.
Fen.
Yes, this is how we get the comment about last week's quotes from 50 Shades of Terrible Mother Advice.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry about that. Fen. Is Fen okay? Fen?
Yeah.
I'm still figuring this out.
And
Fen. Alright, so Fen and Felix, you guys are outside. And Felix, you're trying to get people's attention to ask them about maybe a better place to stay.
I am.
Yeah,
Yes.
my fault. You weren't here to change it though.
Cool. Okay, I'm trying to ask people for a place to stay.
Yes.
Not for a
Isn't
place to stay, but if they
this.
know of a better place than the Sleeping Viper.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to then, I guess, walk up to someone and be like, excuse me, playing up the whole blind kid thing.
You do. The person you happen to find is a very bless you.
Sorry.
A quite large knoll. Just bare chested, wearing I'm just like this is just like very plain person. He's carrying like 2 things of like lumber over his shoulders.
And I'm making sure to stay with him so that
Okay.
him playing up the blind kid thing doesn't turn into him getting taken in.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm going to, produce, like, purposely look not quite where his eyes are.
Yeah.
And be like, I needed, my friends and I were gonna stay at an inn, but I was robbed of all my money, and so I need to. Do you know of a place where we can stay that's really cheap, but won't get us killed or robbed further?
And like you see immediately, this guy like he's like looking over his shoulder, like back at there's a there's a noble woman, like a very obviously a tabaxi noble woman, very richly attired with lots of jewelry, and she's standing with sort of this little cadre of servants, and he kind of looks back at her like a couple times, and they like there is there's a little inn right on. It's built into the wall of the town on the east side. The east side. It's called the Sunrise. It is run by people like me. You may be able to stay there. It fills up pretty quick.
Is the noble woman within 30 feet of us?
Yes,
Okay. So Felix can see her.
Felix can see her.
I'd like to kind of like lean towards him a little bit and lower my voice and say, "Are we presenting a source of trouble for you in front of the noble?"
It is just not. It is not my station to speak to strangers such as yourselves.
Understood.
And he's going to give you each a small bow, and he's going to very carefully sort of turn around with these bunches of wood and kind of go back and rejoin this sort of cadre of servants.
Mm.
Well, he told us about a place. Didn't really give us good directions to get there, though.
He said it was built into the wall, and he pointed in the direction, right?
He said he didn't point. He just said east. He said it's from the east side of the city, built into the wall.
Right. Pointing would be kind of pointless when he thinks I'm blind.
True. But I mean, I was there.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, okay.
You
We have an idea
You
now.
do get a good look at this. This tabaxi noblewoman. She's very distinctive in that she has she's basically she is it is all she has pure white except for a single black diamond like between her eyes. And you notice that as soon as he comes back, she like looks at him. She turns and looks at him. Then looks over to you. Then looks back at the servant.
I'm gonna overplay the guiding the blind kid thing and like start guiding Felix back towards where the rest of the party is. I don't want to deal with this woman.
Felix, start tapping your stick.
I'm being guided. I don't need to tap my stick.
Yes.
Oh.
Make a perception check.
Who?
You.
This is not going to be good. I'm very not perceptive. 3!
Okay, so you guys head back to the inn.
Great. Nothing is more terrifying than a failed perception check and nothing happening.
Yep.
You should just randomly include perception checks for no reason.
Hey,
Just
Enter,
to
are you
terrify
on,
people.
No, not at the moment. I'm
Hangouts,
sorry.
roll 20. Sorry.
Noah, I have actually done that before, including perception checks that do nothing. I love watching the players squirm when I do that. It's so funny.
Where you just roll your dice and you go, okay, and then do nothing.
I was doing that with the chain that Kips broke. When I was rolling percentile dice repeatedly. I already knew what was going to happen. I just wanted to freak Josh out. Remember when he broke the chain and it did 10d10 points of damage to everything around it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Wait, when was that?
When I was DMing for 2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
What?
Wasn't it more like 1 week?
It was a month. It was a solid month, I think.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
that was
Okay.
not
Yeah, it was
weeks.
a month. I think it was 5 weeks. I want to say honestly it was 5. I
was
remember
over a
being
month.
5 sessions.
It was almost
I
2.
thought it was 4, but it was fun. So
No, Tasha, you're right because it was like an intro and then 4 sessions.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry. So you
now
guys.
that I've distracted us.
Sorry. No, we head back to the inn. All right. You guys have arrived back at the inn. Your companions, Felix and Fen, have rejoined you.
okay, so we can get a room for 4 copper pieces. What do people think?
Can we
That's
look
a
at
lot
the
of
room
money.
before we get it? Wait, what? Felix, did you find anything?
Yes. A random slave I bumped into, said there was a hole in the wall that we could stay in that direction,
Like
east.
a real hole in the wall, like as in like
No.
or a place that's kind of a
No.
hole in the wall. What? Neither
He
of those
means
make
it's a
any sense to
not
me.
well-known establishment.
Ethan,
It
is there
also
something in your
literally
mouth?
in the wall.
Yeah, I've been going nuts on Cold-Ease lozenges. I'm starting to get sick. Sorry.
Oh, are those like the
curious.
cold lollipops, like the medicine lollipops?
Mm-mm. They're just lozenges.
I don't know what that is.
Sucker, like little cough drop.
A lollipop without the stick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, continuing on.
Yeah.
Good lord, we're distractible.
Yeah, we are. This is
Really
this
are.
is bad. This is bad, guys.
Sorry,
So
Gareth.
you guys are here. You guys are talking. You guys were talking about the prices of the inns. You guys were trying to compare the inns. You were talking about the hole in the wall place that you could go to.
I want to go and look at it. That sounds interesting. Also, I've never heard of a hole in the wall being a place.
Turn of phrase.
Oh.
So people want to go look at this other place. Is that the sentiment we're getting?
Azalea is going to put it. And you guys can veto this. Like, I don't want to make decisions on her behalf, but just based on how she's been acting. I wouldn't be opposed to taking a quick stroll through the city and checking out another place. And whole sounds like it'd be interesting. Maybe it'll have good view since it's part of the wall. You know, look out on the surrounding countryside, desert. I forgot where we were.
It's okay. All right, so you guys want to go look at this inn?
All right.
All right, so as you guys are heading east, you guys are going to emerge, and as you're going, Savannah, Sarge is going to give you a inquisitive
I was going to
look.
say, before we go, I was going to head over and say, we might be back there. A little ridiculous, and I'm just going to get a drink from him before I go.
All right, what's your poison?
That makes me incredibly uncomfortable.
Nothing strong.
All right.
I will take a light poison, please.
Okay, so he's going to do is he's going to
Poison 0.
LITE.
He's going to pour you a little glass of like a purple cordial. He's going to slide it across to you, and as he's sliding across, he's going to lean over.
What?
That sounds like a keyboard.
Yep.
Oh, it's such a weird. He leans over and has his stroke.
And falls over dead mysteriously.
And then he's just going to pull back and go, right now. If you need anything, just give me a call. Nobody found me.
Thanks. I'll knock back the drink and I'll head out with everyone.
Okay, make a, no, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you. I'm
You're
just,
more of a monster than I am.
I am not a monster. That's interesting.
Curiosity. Actually, I'll message this.
Yeah.
Was that an alcoholic beverage?
Make an intelligence check. Or knowledge nature. Knowledge nature could be possible.
That's a big old 12.
You're not sure. It tastes kind of fizzy, but you don't feel weird.
Doth it burn?
It does a little bit.
It
It's definitely fermented.
It doth burn, please.
It burns.
So uncivilized.
Ooh, fun.
I don't like the sound of that.
Anyway, so as you guys are, so you guys said you're going to the other end, right? That's where you're headed next.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go out into the city. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. It's starting to smell like hot people out here. It's not fun. You are straight up not having a good time. It's hot. Sun's coming straight down. It's like noon 30. It's noon 31ish. Then I need you to make a perception check for me.
Okay. Again, really good at these. Ooh, look at that, a 15. I want you to know I have a 0 modifier to perception. So I still haven't done my level up.
So you do actually notice is that sort of you see that there are behind you. There is a there's a guy, a younger guy, a local guy who you saw as one of the servants with the Tabaxi noble. And he seems to be following you guys right now.
Nice. How far away is he?
Good 50, 60 feet back.
But close enough that he can see us?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said it's one of the servants?
Yeah, one of the servants.
I'm going to turn around and I'm going to look at him. And I'm going to give him the most nasty facial expression I can. Like, just cruel facial expression. Pull out my dagger and lick the blade.
Make an intimidation check with advantage, sir.
Did the rest of us notice this?
What was that?
Please, if nat 1.
Well, I have advantage. And it was a nat 2 and a nat 4.
Okay,
I got 6.
So Ethan, as you're doing this, you feel
1 or 2 points of damage.
ow, give me a minute here.
Would that be 1d4 damage?
It's 2 points of damage. 2 points of damage.
Notice this?
Yes, you do. But you look at this like blood like dribbling down the blade. But as the young servant sees it, his eyes go real wide, and he just goes, "Oh no!" You guys can all see it. This guy, he turns to run away. He falls over like an apple cart and just goes ass over tea kettle, takes the whole thing with him, and then gets up.
I wanted to say, like, as this happens and I actually cut my tongue, I don't even like break character. I then take my bleeding tongue and lick my teeth to turn my teeth red.
and he just looks up and he's trying to get up. He slips and falls on the apple cart. Meanwhile, this vendor's like, hey! He's like, what are you doing?
Then what in the
I
hell
see
are
your
you
flash
doing?
the dramatic has gotten a little bit out of hand.
Then what the hell are you doing? Also, what's wrong with that guy over there?
Still scrambling?
He's running at this point now. He's running away.
You should follow him, Savannah.
Why me?
Why are we
You
following?
are the sneaky one.
stealthy?
He was following us, Amari.
Oh,
Give me 20 minutes.
bye.
Please don't leave. I'm not gonna be able to find you again.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just chill kind of in the shade near where we are.
How close are we to the temple?
I'm gonna cast lay on hands to
Yeah.
heal your tongue.
She's like, so Ven, you like look back at their friends and you see Felix has Ven's tongue.
Oh, the number of times I wish I could have done that. Ben's gonna say this, and then she's gonna head off.
How far are we
Alright.
from the temple?
Let's see if I can,
You guys can see it.
let's see if I can track this guy then.
All right.
Like, as in, like, it's within what? Like, if we walked over there, it would be easy for her to find us again.
The
or-
temple is the centerpiece of this town.
Okay, but like, how many feet away are we from it?
Half mile.
Okay, that's too many feet.
Half mile.
Oh yeah, that's too many feet.
Well, no, because like if we're hanging out right here, like if it was like 10 feet away, then I would go in and look around. But if it's a half mile away, then it's gonna be really hard for her to find us again if we all go over there.
Yeah.
Is it a half a Gabrielle mile away? Because it could
Felix's boulder just comes from 50 feet above you.
There you go.
It's 31 feet. It's 31 feet above your head.
All right. So you guys are in the markets. This actually gives you guys a chance to go shopping in the stalls that are around. So if there's anything you guys really wanted to buy, just let me know after the session.
Okay.
So if you guys just let me know how much gold you're planning to spend, yada yada yada. You're in the markets. All right, Cervena.
Yep.
Make a stealth check. You don't have to make a perception check. This guy's making absolutely no effort to disguise himself.
Oh, not shabby for once. I say this like I roll crappy. Okay, Tasha, basic math. You can do this.
Oh,
22.
dang. 22. Dang, he rolled really well, but yeah, you rolled still good enough. So you're slipping out. You're slipping through the crowd. This guy keeps looking back. He's looking for Fen, honestly. So as he's scrambling around the corners, you see he's yeah, no. So you just as he.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Seizures.
Yeah. Sorry. Response
Okay.
that I need to make.
How dare you respond in turn to people?
But
The audacity.
what just
That
happened?
worked. I dramatically inhaled and choked on my own spit.
Something had happened. Like you realize you like left something on fire or something. I
Just
don't
like
know.
you remembered you put something in the toaster oven an hour ago.
I'm pretty sure the smell of burning stuff would have alerted me first. But anyway, go on.
All right, so as you guys are proceeding, eventually you see this guy. You're able to keep pace with him pretty easily. He's not very sneaky. Eventually, you see that he kind of throws like one last around. And you see that there's in the shade of a street. You see that there's a male tabaxi standing in the shadows. He's a dark, almost sort of almost like blackish coppery color, like brindled, like a brindled black and copper.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the boy run up to him.
Quick question: would anything like I'm sure I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, like a niqab be common for dress in Jalbar? Facial covering, like the Muslim women tend to wear.
A hijab.
Oh, yeah.
No, the hijab is just the hair.
Yeah, it's just for the
The
hair.
hijab is whole face.
Yeah, for the whole
It's-
thing. Yeah.
Less than a burqa.
Yeah,
hijab.
yeah, no, because we learned about this in because I took sociology of Islam, so we actually learned there's various different levels based on where you based on your sect, based on where you live.
But what was the word that you said?
Niqab.
Yeah,
With an N?
N.
yeah.
N-I-Q-A-B, I
Yeah.
believe.
That sounds right. That sounds right. So
Would that be normal?
normal around here is they tend to be definitely like more loose about head coverings and face like they're not uncommon. Not everybody wears them. You see, it's
They're not
mostly
uncommon. If it wouldn't stick out,
Yeah.
then I'll actually try and do that before.
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't be weird. You see a lot of human women do it. Tabaxi, it seems to vary. Human women, it'd probably be about 50-50. Tabaxi, probably a few more do, but based on what you've seen, they tend to be of like lighter, like see-through fabric, so it doesn't really make like a difference.
Then I'll just try and make sure I do that before I.
Okay, yeah, no, sure. So you do it. You don't look
My
at.
face sticks out.
Yeah, no, it does. So
I'll activate my device.
very well.
What?
So as you're prowling along, you see that the Tabaxi and the boy are talking, and this Tabaxi he is constantly looking up and down. He's constantly
I'm really gonna regret threatening this servant.
You see like his eyes land on you, and he just sees right through you. He just looking up and down this alleyway, and you see that they're talking very close for a second.
When you say he's right through you, like can obviously tell I'm following, or
No,
past
as in like he just looks at you and just looks at someone else immediately.
I am still the equivalent of a cocktail waitress.
Quotes list.
All right, I can get close enough to hear.
All right, sure. For this, you're gonna need to make another stealth check. Like this is
Another stealth or perception?
How about one of each? Let's go with one of each here.
Oh boy. Okay. That's not fabulous. That's a 20 in stealth
Okay.
total, and that's only an 8 perception.
Okay, so you are able to get close. Like you're able to get close without either of them really paying you any mind. But you can't hear what they're saying. This Tabaxi guy, he knows what he's doing. He looks like he legitimately looks like he knows what he's doing. He's keeping an eye on all the points around. He's obviously like muffling his voice like to the point where nobody.
Man, I gotta learn to read lips.
Yeah, no,
I was about to ask, do you know how to read lips?
Would I?
You'd probably have a rudimentary knowledge of it, but he's blocking his lips. He's legitimately blocking his lips like this, and you can, even if you were to go around him, you couldn't get a clear view.
Okay.
So you see that this servant, he goes, nods, and you see that the man pats him on the back, hands him a couple gold coins, and just slaps him on the back as he runs away.
Sticking with the guy.
Is it like the football coach slap on the butt as he runs away?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Are you sticking with? So you're sticking with the nobleman? Or you're sticking with the
I'll
servant?
stick with the tabaxi.
Stick with the tabaxi.
Guy who appears to be in charge.
Right.
Well, that's a lot riskier.
So you see, he's dressed very traditionally. He's definitely got sort of he's got the traditional lower body covering. He's got a headdress. He's carrying he's carrying a little scroll under one arm. Though he does have a light, sort of white cloak drooped over him. Draped.
Drooped.
Drooped.
It's a droopy cloak. It's been having a rough day.
Fairly personifying the cloak.
Personifying the cloak. The cloak's.
Man, I have to be on this guy.
Hashtag
Okay.
cloak.
I want to be his cloak. Schmuck's cloak.
So you see that this guy, he just starts taking a leisurely walk. He's just gonna start meandering. He's walking for a while.
Guard,
What?
still watching?
He's throwing around the occasional glance.
All right.
Would you roll for some stealth again?
The first or the second?
Second.
20.
Okay. And what was your perception?
8.
All right. So he takes a turn into what looks like a little side street. There's like there's like a bakery, and there's like what looks like a little maybe a smoke shop, someplace that might have like tobacco and spices. And he kind of takes a turn up an alley there.
I'll walk past it.
Okay. All right, and so as you do, you glance back, and he's now walking behind you.
App. And nose gone.
I also sent you something on Roll20. Can I get an extra of that real fast, please?
I'm sorry, but all of the descriptions that you're giving here just make me want to sing more and more Arabian Nights.
Can I get a little clarification on that, please?
Sure.
Kind of emotional. Upset. Happy.
It seems to be more than business. I'll throw that out there. It looks like it's more than business.
Does he look... Again, you say emotional. Is this looking like, yes?
He looks concerned.
Oh,
He looks like he might need a good stiff drink, based on your past experience.
Okay.
A bit melancholy, but also kind of keyed up.
I'm gonna act as natural as I can. I will stop at small areas. If there's like an apple stand or something, I'll get an apple.
Actually, as soon as you come to the end of this alley, there is something that is just called the Fantastic Melon Bazaar, and it is, as a matter of fact, it is a rather rotund middle-aged woman just with carts of all kinds of variety of melons, more melons than you've ever seen.
I will stop and buy a melon.
All right, so
I will buy an entire melon.
so you stop and you're.
I will walk by and not trail me anymore.
You turn on, and you see that he kind of pauses, and he's like playing with like a small melon, but he's like, and he's gonna.
What is the normal accent of the area?
He's gonna stop squeezing the melon and just walk away.
Okay. I'm also making
sorry.
Whatever.
Did you actually? Oh my gosh, Andrew.
Sorry. I'm
Whatever the
Chen.
regional accent is of this area,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mimic that.
Sure. Make a linguistics check.
Oh, this could be it.
Or a performance check.
It's actually
Performance
a
check
skill
is
that-
valid.
I think this is definitely a skill Ven has. She's good at accents.
Okay, that's good. All right.
As a
I'll give you advantage. You live here.
Mother fudge.
I'll give you
Why do
advantage.
you? Oh, advantage! Thank God.
Yeah.
That first one was a 2.
Yeah!
The second one was an 18 plus something.
You very subtly
intelligence.
So, shit, what's my intelligence? 21 then.
Okay, all right. So you very casually, even maybe using a little local lingo as greeting.
Hi, y'all.
You'd be like, it'd be something like
One
you said,
part of me that I translated into this character.
be like peace to you. Be like peace to you. Sail.
Melon man.
Melon woman.
How do you know?
Because I
You
said it was a woman.
That's an awfully bold assumption.
I made her. I know what gender she is. All right. So
Bad for that poor dog, Ethan.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I can't misgender somebody I just made up. All right. So this lady goes.
Pretty much the only part of me that made it into Ven was she likes doing accents.
Sure. She goes. Yes. Hello. What can I do for you? She immediately pays.
Excellent melons.
Oh.
Leave.
Oh. Goodbye.
Is he gone?
Yeah. He's gone. He's gone.
Okay. I want to just try and make sure I am not in the mood to get kidnapped again. So, I'm just gonna keep an eye out as I go.
Make a perception check.
Big money, no. No.
No. Okay.
No.
Was it a whammy?
It was a 2. Plus
Okay.
It was a whammy.
whatever my perception modifier is. A whole big 7.
All right. Okay.
I'm rolling
Andrew.
really well.
Yeah.
Real quick, by the way,
Yeah.
while we're shopping, I want to see if I can find any round wooden balls.
Okay.
I want 4 of them.
Sure.
All women want.
You can just shut up now, Gabrielle.
Okay. You find a carpenter. He has doorknobs.
No. I want them to be actual, like, spheres.
He goes like this. He pulls out a little sack, and he shows you this is. My God.
It's a bag of balls. Just go with it.
Where are the goats?
Okay.
So immature.
My
God.
bird. I walked into that one, didn't I?
Oh, you.
Oh,
totally
you
did.
did. You presented that one.
I mean, once the thought has been placed in your mind, it's really hard to get around it anyway. So anything you say, you're gonna get laughed at.
So, alright! So, this
His
car.
voice has gone up 2 octaves. It's really funny, apparently.
Somebody hit the bag.
As it turns out, they play a game similar to marbles with little wooden balls here. So, this carpenter for 6 silver pieces, we'll call it. For 6 silver pieces, he'll furnish you 4 of these little wooden
I want
spheres.
them to be about the size of a baseball.
Oh, about the size of a baseball. Okay, so they play really big marbles. This is like their national sport. It's like a mix of cricket and marbles. They're really intense about this.
Who took my baseball?
I don't know. Maybe it was one of the marble kids. So anyway, so these are the size of baseballs. This is pretty hefty. So holding his hefty sack of balls, Fenbeer rejoins the party.
I have purchased my hefty sack of balls, apparently. What in the heck?
That's going on the quotes list. Purchase my hefty sack of balls.
Why are we 5?
You guys are terrible.
We are. Oh my word.
I just wanted some little wooden spheres, and you had to make it weird. Oh, there's Sasha. Sasha's back.
Oh my gosh.
I missed that.
Oh.
You might be the only person in the world who actually likes my laugh.
I think we all
That's
like your
an
laugh.
amazing laugh.
We love your laugh.
Yeah, I snort, squeak, and sound like a witch. It's great, isn't it?
Honestly, yes.
All right. So
And then it gives me an asthma attack.
oh no.
Okay, who just wrote that quote in the lists?
Which one?
The one about the one that I just said.
Which one did?
Do you want it gone?
I'm not saying it again, people. I just wanted to know who spelled my name with 2 H's.
Typo, sorry.
Fan.
Ethan.
Ethan. Ethan.
Typo, sorry, Ethan.
No, you're fine. All right. So.
Oh my god, Kira. She just said
Say.
in the chat compensating for something? I want you to know that I really appreciate that comment, Kira. That is hilarious. But please.
This was a family show. No, it wasn't. It was.
We have always said it's going to be, and then it just stops being.
Oh, okay. So, eventually, Ven, you return to your
Yeah.
group.
What?
You return to your group. With the melon.
Okay, so that was super shady. He went and found some tabaxi guy, and he was like whispering with his mouth covered, and I can't hear what he said. And then I tried to follow him, and I think he noticed because then he started following me, and then I bought a melon.
What type of melon?
I don't know what type of melon.
It looks like a very deep green watermelon.
I think it's a watermelon.
What is a watermelon?
That.
We should try it. Can we throw it?
But anyway, I think he stopped following me, but I kind of did a bad job of. I feel like Ven's like face wrap is like badly done at this point.
Yes,
Like running into her eyes.
it's like one eye is like half
I
covered.
can't really see.
It's like-
Wait, what did he look like? Like, was there anything that we can use to identify him? Was he like a?
I will give a
ranking-
description of him.
Okay.
He
Was he-
seemed distracted by whatever he got told, but he reminded me of the guards in the place when I got kidnapped. He was clearly, obviously keeping his eyes out.
Wait, what do you mean that he reminded you of the gods? Like he looked like them, or?
No, his demeanor. He seemed like almost a professional, I guess. He looked paranoid. I don't know.
There are
That
a lot
makes
of
sense.
people in this town that are very on edge.
Yes, including you, apparently, since you felt the need to cut your tongue open.
I'm going to pull out the spheres that I just purchased and start juggling.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
This is
No.
a skill you just happen to have.
Make a dex check.
We're about to find out.
What
Is
you
this
saying?
your equivalent of my accents? Just
Yeah.
that one thing that you like pulled from yourself and threw in your character?
No, this is Ethan trying to improve his dexterity. 11.
Okay. You managed to juggle with 3, but you can't get it going, and you drop them a couple times. Is that pretty?
With 4, you mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Ven is gonna like unwrap the niqab from her face,
Okay.
deactivate her device.
What is this device?
You'd probably have actually noticed this. When Ven came back, her eyes were a different color.
Holy crap.
Reaches into her sleeve after when she unwraps this, and her eyes switch back.
What's wrong with your eyes?
After I got kidnapped, I tried to find some way to disguise some of my more unique features.
Huh.
This was my attempt to make my eyes somewhat less obvious.
That's kind
What
of
was the
cool.
nickname? This is Ethan asking Tasha because Fenmir would remember it. What was the nickname?
I have to go back and find what the Elvish was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm going to just kind of like make a mention of that nickname.
I think it went bicolored in.
Yeah, it did.
What was? Oh, hang on. Carrig.
Carrig?
Carrig.
Okay. Well, Carrig, it always has been a notable trait of yours.
Yes, I know, and you know I hate that name.
There are many things that I hate that you have been doing.
Well, wonderful. You think it makes me any happier? At the moment, I don't give a damn what you hate, Fenrir.
I keep juggling.
Yeah.
You know
Don't
what?
need your pity.
We should do? We should go to a confectioner and tell them to make candies that are shaped like people, and then we can bite their heads off, and then you can pretend that it's Fenrir's head.
Fen is still glaring daggers at you.
Fen is still juggling and ignoring you.
I don't care what we do. Let's just get something done. Don't like
I
this
start
place.
walking east.
It reminds me too much of being kidnapped.
I start walking east, juggling the whole time.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that with disadvantage if I'm juggling.
Yeah, sure.
Just him, not the rest of us?
Just him.
Ah, I wish I hadn't said that. So it's an 11,
Yeah.
but the other one was a nat 20, so...
Rip.
Okay, you're managing for now.
Me? What am I
Andrew.
managing?
You're managing to not. If you were rolled like below like a 7 or an 8, I would have you fall over the same apple cart.
I thought he was following us, so the apple cart would be behind us.
Oh, you're right. That doesn't make any sense.
With the
Anyway.
apple cart following us? Why?
Yeah, the apple cart is just stalking you through the streets.
The overturned apple cart is moving on its own.
Starts getting flashbacks to the Night Hag fight in Curse of Strahd
Mm-mm.
with the cart that moves on its own.
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
Hard no. Right, so you guys are proceeding. You guys are headed to the temple next, right? Is
I
that
thought
what
we
you-
were going east to the...
You're right. You're going to the inn first. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up because like there's some people who wanted to do both. All right, so you guys are heading east. You're looking for the sunrise.
The sun. Oh, for a second I thought you said the sunset. I'm like, the sun does not rise in the east, Andrew.
It does rise in the east.
I know. I can't.
Yes, but it must be Gabrielle directions.
Yeah.
Yes. Excuse you. The sun rises in the north in this game. Get over yourself. It rises in the north and it sets in the southwest.
All right.
Sometimes, if there's a good enough breeze, it'll set in the northeast. It depends on how bored it is.
The wind gets blown. The sun gets
Okay.
blown off first.
what check do I make to try to find this hole in the wall inn?
All right, go for it. You're gonna make a perception check.
Frick. Ah! 19!
19. So leading the way, Thenmir is everybody's watching. As he's walking, Clover starts to play like a walking song on the mandolin as you guys are following. So you guys are all kind of getting to break into step. It's fun. It's kind of hot out, but the crowd's dying down.
Sorry, Amara's gonna get like a scarf and start like waving at people and like holding it out like a little bucket for people to put donations in.
Ben is not going in step with music. Ben is looking very unhappy.
You manage to get 1 silver coin from an old guy who watching goes, "Best thing I've heard in 20 years!" and just walks away.
Thank you. I don't know what you said, but okay.
I don't know what I said either. He disappeared.
I like your generic old man voice.
It's okay. All right.
That's what he's gonna sound like in 60 years.
You're right, and I'll
Iris, you're right.
still be running games for you, mooks.
Please, God, no.
And we will be glad.
Yes.
We'll be the old people at the retirement community who are just like screaming at midnight about their D&D game.
The Sour Patch Kids are not my fault. My brother left them in his car and they kind of melted. So now we have like nice conglomerates of tortured.
Sour Patch are loaf.
Living in horrified agony.
Oh my word, that's not. Okay, so like,
Free us.
eventually,
Just pull out a lump and take a bite out of it like an apple.
apples. Why are apples such a theme in this episode?
The apple episode.
Oh, you could take out. Well, no. I was about to try and make melons the theme, but you can't take a bite out of a melon.
You can certainly try.
Try and stop me.
All right, so eventually, you guys are headed to. You guys
Do you know
after a
where Noah
while.
vanished to, by the way?
Maybe he did fall through the floor.
That would be unfortunate.
I messaged him asking him where he went, and he didn't reply.
I ate him.
Oof.
Just like I ate Andrew last week.
That's true.
That is a hard oof.
Yeah, sorry,
So,
go on.
So as you guys are skedaddling along, eventually you come across a little place that you see flapping in the breeze. You see there's a little sign that says the sunrise in like you see it in common. But you also see it in a language you don't recognize right away.
What? Well, not necessarily. Because
Wait, what?
we all know several languages.
Okay, does anybody besides Noah have any knowledge of Knoll?
No.
Okay, well,
Knowledge of what?
No.
Yep.
oh, you speak Knoll?
Yeah.
It says the sunrise. It says the sunrise. Please make yourself at home in Knoll.
It's a
I
knoll
will.
that we can stay in, and it's written in knoll. That's what it says. It says make. Oh
Gabrielle?
wait, the knoll is not there. Oh.
Gabrielle,
Yes.
Yes.
you have heard of fan service. This is you service. I will put my balls away and walk in.
What is that supposed to mean?
Did you just drool everyone?
Yes, it did.
I'm sorry.
He's
I'm
drooling
so
over the
sorry.
Sour Patch lump.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to say that out loud. I just saw things. React.
Nobody would have ever known.
I know. I'm really.
Those of you who
sorry.
are watching the stream, please do not ever revert back and look.
Okay, so
What
then.
happened about a minute ago stays about a minute ago.
Okay, so now that
Actually, the people watching the stream can't see you.
okay, so now that Ethan's balls are back in the sack, he enters the inn.
That sounds like a really bad surgery.
I'm not gonna put that in quotes. I'm not gonna do it.
Well, now he's gonna be drooling some more.
I am going to break Andrew before the night is through.
And the first thing you see when you walk in is a little Knoll girl. She's about 12 or 13 years old, and she's gonna look at. She looks at you and goes, "Hello."
It's a little knoll girl. Put your balls away.
They're already away. Stop.
This took a very awkward turn very quickly. And, hi. What can I do for you?
Looking for
Me,
a
Oh, there you
yeah,
are.
you go ahead.
Papa! She's gonna like run back. She's gonna like run back,
Oh.
and you immediately see there's a lot of people here. Like there's like a good amount of like humans and a few gnolls just kind of like clustered around. There's like there's a bunch there's like the wall on one side is padded and there's tables and then there's a bunch of pillows sort of scattered all around and there's food coming out of this kitchen. There's a bar, like a little L-shaped bar. It's tight. I mean, it's tight in this front room.
Does it seem expensive or just very popular?
Looks pretty
With the
popular. Looks popular with the sort of the local lower working class folks. I mean, they're crammed in here. There are people in line at the bar, waiting to get like little meat sandwiches, like meat pita sandwiches. And they're coming out quick. I mean, you're hearing sizzling and chopping, and if you guys pause in the entrance, there are people going to start collecting behind you.
I'm gonna step in like off to the side.
Yes.
And I wanted to comment the minute that I
Yes.
saw that there was like a young girl
Yes.
in there. having seen what happened with Clover, I'm going to very quickly like throw a sash from my belt and like let it drip over Amenadiel so that she doesn't see him.
All right.
A Menadil?
It's very
The
thoughtful.
skull.
Oh,
It's very thoughtful.
right. Your Hamlet skull. I forgot.
Alas,
Alas,
alas, poor Yorick, my belt buckle. So eventually, so very quickly, there's you hear immediately a knoll kind of with a knoll with a red vest and a big smile walks out from the back. Hello, my friends. Hello. He's like immediately when he walks up and Finn, you're the first person in, so he's immediately going to shake your hand and.
I shake back, obviously.
Yes, and he bows to each of the ladies and shakes Felix firmly by the hand.
Stuco's gonna go play with the girl.
You immediately hear like a giggle and like she starts like giving him under the neck scritchies and Stuco's having a blast. It smells good in here. There are a bunch of people in there. There's like a couple guys. Looks like some guys who are maybe like doing construction like on their lunch break. They're gonna throw him a couple pieces of meat.
Isn't he a big cat?
He's like a medium-sized cat. Like he's bigger than a house cat, but
He's
he's not as
bobcat
big.
size, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's obviously pretty tame, so like I mean, the girl's like dangling like part of like her like I don't know, like part of like her cape, I guess is the best
Also,
term.
I
Like
think he would have to be a little smaller than a bobcat because I pick him up all the time.
Maine Coon cat size.
Probably bigger than that.
Okay, so Link's
Somewhere in
Link's
that.
smaller than a bobcat, or Link bigger
Link's-
than a
They're about the
bobcat?
same.
Small.
Bobcats are smaller than people think they are.
Yeah, bobcats are quite
Okay.
smaller than people think they are. Like that's.
Can I pick up a bobcat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If one would
Okay.
let you, yeah. I mean, yeah, like
Try and
like
stop me.
like a bobcat wouldn't be too much bigger than Todd.
Bobcats weigh 19 pounds on average.
That's it.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
he wouldn't be that.
Wow.
He'd be denser than Todd, but he wouldn't be much bigger.
So
that about
basically,
right?
wait, Ethan, that means that your cats are bigger than or fatter than a bobcat.
Yep.
Your cats have diabetes.
Guster could very well be Wilfred Brimley.
One of my cats actually has diabetes.
Oh no, poor kitty.
He gets
Diabetes.
twice a day shots.
Oh, buddy.
It's great. The whole schedule revolves around getting Patrick his shots at the right time.
His name is Patrick. That's amazing.
Patrick?
Why?
I don't know. I just really like the name Patrick for a cat.
Patrick. It's like
Okay.
I don't know, it's like
Pat.
it's one of those names that's like a little bit too human. It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
it's
we
like
found him on St. Patrick's Day.
oh okay
so-
that makes sense.
Well, now we have to give Patrick his shot.
Like yes, this is my dog, Greg. this is
I love it
Stop
when there's
doing the
overly
tumbler.
human names for animals.
Charles.
You just hear a woman
Lewis?
scream, "Kevin, get over here!" and a little pug just wanders by. Like,
I know.
So
I
is
love stuff like that.
Lewis by that standard too human?
No, Lewis works for a cat. I don't know, but like it'd be like naming your golden retriever like Charles.
Charles, did you take a dump on the carpet?
Charles.
John. Hey.
Charles, look at me. Okay.
Well, there's no butt.
There's no cat either. Oh, there he is. There we go. Cat. Hello, cat. All right. So like this is a very this is salt of the earth place. The people here the clientele are the clientele are a little they're tough looking, but they're not seedy looking. I'll throw that out there.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you with the cat thing. Did the guy say how much the rooms were?
No, he just all that he's done is just like say hello so far.
So we were interested in possibly renting a couple of rooms for at least the evening. How much would it be?
Oh dear. Okay, so all I have left is the honeymoon suite. It could it can sleep all of you, but I mean not comfortably. But it can sleep all of you if you wish to come in. I could it'd be for all of you for a group rate. It is usually about 6 gold a night for the honeymoon suite. But for all of you, I could let it go for 3 gold.
3 gold per person or 3 gold total?
3 gold total.
Does that include food and stuff like that?
It includes breakfast and no drinks.
You all aren't drunkards, right?
You
There's no
don't even know
drink.
my answer on that.
Do you mean alcoholic drinks? Like, can we get like non-alcoholic?
Oh,
drinks?
just alcohol, just alcohol. And dinner is never included with these sort of things.
That's fair. Anybody opposed? Is everyone good with this option?
Fenmir is getting really uncomfortable right now.
One moment. I'm gonna go over and like very quietly ask Tembe, what's your problem? Like, you seem like you have a problem. Not like, are you crazy or something?
It's none of your concern.
Oh,
Do you
just
want to-
cough it up.
Do we need to stay somewhere else, or is this fine?
It is fine. And I'll pull 3 gold out and hand it to the guy.
Can I make a sense motive check on Ben and see what's bothering him?
Sure.
I'm actually gonna second that. So I was talking to him.
Can I make some sort of check?
Snap.
Sure, yeah, go for it. What would you like to make?
I would like to make a bluff check.
Okay.
22.
You're not half bad.
What'd you get?
Oh, only a 15.
That's not
I don't
bad.
have a great bonus.
Between the two of us?
What'd you get, Tasha?
15.
Okay. I got a 17.
I got
So-
a 22.
Tasha, you think I'm fine.
I think it's more accurate to say I can't tell what's bothering you.
Yeah.
Gabrielle, you don't know what's bothering me, but you know that I very much do not like it, whatever it is.
With a 22?
Well, how are you going to sense motive someone and tell, oh, well, they don't like it because they don't like such and such?
That's
Well, I
fair.
Read people's thoughts with a sense motive check.
How about
Sense
no,
motive
no.
is literally just like
Oh.
emotional
Ethan.
cues.
Could
Okay,
she
so
tell what the thing that he said at what point you started to feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, like, is there, like, were you looking in a certain direction? Was there something that caught your eye that made you uncomfortable? That I should be able to pick up by nonverbal cues, because it was very obvious that you were uncomfortable. I shouldn't need a roll for that.
I think that's a fair interpretation.
Okay. He started getting uncomfortable at the mention of honeymoon suite.
That would be my guess.
Huh. Interesting. All right. So
Oh, Tasha, can I say it? You can have your balls out. Honeymoon suite is okay.
I'm gonna regret purchasing those wooden spheres.
you're so back. Everybody's uncomfortable except Amari. Everybody's just like
Wait, what'd you say?
everybody's uncomfortable, but except Amari. Everybody's like.
I'm gonna pat Sense back. It's going to be okay. We can talk about whatever's going on.
Out of curiosity, did he pointedly not look at Clover at the mention of a honeymoon?
I don't know.
He, in
Then-
fact, was not pointedly avoiding Clover.
Interesting. Okay.
Who? Can I ask his DM who he was looking at? You can message me privately. I'm
He
just.
wasn't looking at anyone in particular.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like actually like just like legitimate like. Actually, Ethan, do you mind messaging me privately just to like maybe let me in a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can do that.
I'd appreciate that. All right. So the guy and he goes. Yes, all right, very bad. Thank you. I'll let he will back in the little girl. Show these nice people to the room. Show the nice people to the rooms. And
Thank you very much.
and immediately he'll bust back into the kitchen, and immediately you'll hear him saying, "We got someone at the honeymoon suite!" And then like you hear from the kitchen, "Yay!" He's like from the kitchen, like legitimately like people cheering.
Fenmir assumes that he's going to be able to find his way there later, and he goes outside for a while.
Sure.
He doesn't follow them to the room.
Okay. All right. So
I'm just gonna find out where it is, and I think I have to go do it.
Okay.
Are we like splitting to take care of our errands?
do you guys want to?
I was fine with that.
Sure. All right.
Is there
I
like
do
a
want
front
to-
porch
I
on
do
this
want to-
on this place?
What'd you say?
Not really. There's like a front overhang with like some rain barrels and an old guy smoking a pipe, and
I'm gonna go stand next to the guy smoking a pipe and pull out my own pipe and
okay.
start smoking with him.
The old man, he's a very long beard, a venerable beard, and he's going to look at you and just go, and just blow a smoke ring and just go back to smoking.
Hi, Gandalf.
Yeah,
Give it-
I'll give him a nod and smoke on
We'll
my
smoke
own.
in his face.
Yeah. So it's just you two guys are going to spend some time whiling away the afternoons, the hot desert afternoons. Upstairs in the honeymoon suite.
Oh
Oh,
Good
Oh.
time, guys.
Why did it have to be the honeymoon suite? I knew when you said the moment, like the second you said we only have one left, I was like, it's gonna be the honeymoon suite, isn't it?
it's always the honeymoon suite.
Oh. Out of curiosity, how tacky of a honeymoon suite is it?
I mean, but like, okay, we're gonna find out. So like this
Sweethearts.
this inn sort of makes up for how cramped it is in height. It's like 6 stories tall, which is really tall for medieval, but it's built right into the wall, so that's why it's so tall.
Thanks, Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss explains medieval architecture.
I would
I
listen
have
to
a
that.
wall. It is quite tall. A tall wall. It's very tall. I have a floor. It's in the air. It's in the air with lots of stairs.
Okay.
Bedbear will stand on the wall. He'll stand on the wall and pull out his ball.
Oh, we are terrible people, guys.
My word, this is like. See what happens when Harley is not here.
Ethan, that just made the night.
Yes, it did.
I'm done.
Let me guess, that's going on the quotes list.
Oh yes.
Yes.
You're gonna have to put that on because I don't remember what all the wording was.
Oh, it was
And where
beautiful.
we'll stand.
Okay, so eventually, she leads you up to the 5th floor, and she's going to show you that there's a hallway. So there's two doors to the left. There's like a there's like a ladder leading up to a hatch at the end of the hallway, and to the right there's a door with like a little plate with like a little bit of engraving on it. It shows like a heart, like 2 hearts like woven together, with like some flowers around it. And the girl's gonna like open. She, ta-da! It is the honeymoon suite, and it just like shows you. Okay, so this room is pretty big. In the middle of it, there is in sort of this pale purplish color, right on the floor there is a heart-shaped mattress draped around with like a whitish net. There are several scented candles burning on the floor by the bed, some by the open window. The open window, which opens out onto this lovely view of just like the desert sort of stretching away, the mountains slowly leveling out, the canal, and that latticed work roof to the path, just slowly disappearing away.
Do we see a blue Will Smith out in the distance?
No. By
Arabian Night.
Do we see a blue Robin Williams?
better, but no. The window is covered in this beautifully intricate, like wooden lattice work. There's a desk. There's a desk by one of the walls. It has a chair. There are two couches on this thick red carpet. In one corner, there's a good bit of space. There's a mirror. There's like a large, like 4 or 5 foot mirror, sort of on one side of the door at the foot of the bed. And there's going to be like another, like almost like a little fainting couch by the base of the bed. And there's going to be like 2 chairs and a table by that window with the lattice work. There's a few light. I mean, like they're not very high quality. You can pretty easily tell, but tapestries hanging on the walls. And above all, in the middle of the room, there's like this reddish candle dangling low from the ceiling, and just sort of like throwing this like in like a glass container, just like throwing this like this glittering, like almost like red, almost like disco ball effect in the sunlight, and with the candle flickering inside around the room.
Okay then. So errands?
You're just like open the place. Cool. Alright, is anybody going to explore the honeymoon suite?
Do they have like a tub in here?
Yeah. I didn't mention it, but there is a tub. There's a tub.
Does said tub have a curtain around it?
It has like it has a net. It has like a lot of those like see-through nets that like is around the bed.
That's what I figured.
Wait, you don't want to see your friends showering?
There's no shower head.
You just got married. They're bathing.
Yeah, we didn't just get married. We are a ragtag bunch of cheapskates, which is why we're all sharing one.
A ragtag bunch of cheapskates in the honeymoon.
If we were being real cheapskates, we would go back to the place, which was super sketchy, but only charged us 4 copper.
For 2 rooms.
I'm so sorry about that whole mess again.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Andrew, did you get my message, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
I think we should go out and look around. Does anyone want to go to the temple? That sounds interesting.
I think some people did. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go chat with the,
Yeah.
Yeah, Felix and I wanted to go to the temple. I know that much.
Yeah, okay,
Are
so...
we going all together or are we splitting up?
Alright.
I'm not there. Don't ask me.
Okay, so you're outside smoking. I know Felix is going to the temple. Who's going to the library? That's right. I already said this, that Azalea, Francis is going to offer to go with Azalea to the library.
Cool.
And Azalea says, I may not be back for a while. Hopefully my credentials will be able to get me in on one of the, they sometimes have like 24-hour study periods.
That sounds great.
So you may be seeing me not until this time tomorrow. Or that she will
Well, enjoy the books.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we'll make sure that someone comes to get you if you find something interesting or dangerous.
Right, and I'll keep an eye on her. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll keep an eye on her. It'll be alright. My mother used to say that when there's somebody small with you, you need to always remember that they're bigger than you think. In heart.
What?
and with that line, Francis is going to walk out the door.
I'm gonna go find the wizard.
A wizard?
Yes, a wizard. Or a sorcerer.
Interesting.
Alright.
Ven is not terribly... She wants to go find someone of the arcane persuasion to ask about, you know, the whole waking up in the desert with no memory thing.
Alright. Make a survival check.
I will also ask around. It's not terrible. 13.
Okay. Alright, so, you'll be able to find some. Alright, so, temple folks.
Am I alone, out of curiosity?
You alone out of curiosity? Yeah, looks like it.
You wouldn't be if you were going to the temple first, but...
Alright, so this leaves us with Felix, Amari, and Fen, heading to the temple.
Just out of curiosity, what is Clover doing?
Well, that's a good question.
That was an interesting noise, Ethan.
I know what you're trying to push him to do!
No, I'm legitimately just curious. If she's going to the library, or with you guys, or with me.
Oh! She's actually gonna stay at the inn and
Okay.
offer to perform.
All right. That was
And
actually not me trying to make smitten comments for once.
she's gonna
I
stay.
believe you.
Seriously?
I believe you.
Uh,
Really?
Yeah. You want to roll sense motive?
On you?
Yeah.
as people,
Yeah.
this is not how Pathfinder works.
No, I do believe you. I really do. I was just leading you on with that one. Making you squirm.
All right. So
And succeeding.
So Clover.
If it makes you uncomfortable, tell me. Seriously, I'm not trying to be.
So Clover says, I'll just change into my bard stuff, and I'll be here when you guys get back.
Enjoy.
Thank you. All right. So you hear her from inside as you guys are leaving, tuning up her mandolin. All right. So temple folks, where are my temple folks at? I got Fen. I got Tasha. I said we deal with this at the end, right?
Yeah, you can take care of the wizard at the end. I don't really
Wizard at the end.
care.
Yeah.
I
Also,
don't think it's going to affect how we do anything, so.
yeah. It's not for now. It won't. It won't matter in the next 2 sessions. I'll say that much. All right. So
I'm worried about us losing our memories, and I want to fix it.
Yeah. All right. My temple bros and gal. You guys are heading down. It's the first thing you notice immediately as you head towards the temple. You see like the open columns. It gets hot. It is getting hotter. There are more people crushing in here. There's a lot of people. Like, there's an unusual, like, even though the rest of the city is crowded, like, Tel Marna is a big city crammed into a medium-sized city.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Based on the message that I just sent you,
Yeah.
should I have to roll some sort of check? Because I'm not used to stuff like this? Like,
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong... I'm looking at the melancholy thing, and I'm like, the hell kind of chick you want me to ask you for?
No.
I opened the wrong tab, but it still said Ethan. Out of curiosity, what effect did you have? What check did you have in mind?
Something along the lines of a will save, but not necessarily like actually saving throw.
So a guideline to behavior check using will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, by all means, please, and like you don't always have to check with me for those. Just like let me know you're doing it. Like
I was actually like wondering from a gameplay perspective, would that make sense?
For me, I'd want to keep that out of the rulebook because I think that's a personal thing with your character. But I certainly respect the role. I think that's a good thing to roll on actually.
Okay, I'm doing fine for right now then.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. All right. So, Temple Bros and gal, you guys are heading down. It's getting tightly packed, and you immediately see people here seem a little different than the rest of the town. Like these people hanging around, they're quiet. They're quiet. They're not giving each other creepy looks like my beloved. They're just chilling, but they're like milling around. You hear whispered voices. You see guards, but not like guards. You see like people in like military uniforms. Like they don't seem to be like. They're not really like on duty. Like they're not like at attention. They're just kind of standing around talking to each other. But they're not anywhere else in this town.
Do I recognize anything about the uniform?
You know that it's Jalbar. It's the uniform of Jalbar, general military uniform of Jalbar.
Okay.
What's up, Lewis?
Wait, is this at the library or at the temple?
It is. This is at the temple. You guys are at the temple. It's the. So as you guys reach the gates of the temple, and Noah's not here. What's up with that? So we message him again to let him know we're at the temple.
I'm messaging him.
Thank you. You know. So as you guys are going to the temple, immediately you guys see that there are, at the foot of this temple, there are two reared and roaring lion statues to greet you at the base of these steep steps.
The messages that I'm sending are not going through to his phone. So I think he might have lost internet connection.
That's entirely possible. Maybe have Noah's phone number?
Nope.
Let me check.
Did anyone find out from him what his intention was about going to the temple?
No, I never got a solid.
Because I know he wanted to ask about the Oracle Curse.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, right. Other than that, I feel like it may have just been out of curiosity, though.
I know he said that he wanted
Well,
to
then-
visit like every temple.
Do you want to basically just say that there's time allotted for what he discusses?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I figure what he discusses might be private anyway.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say that whatever he discussed, he's gonna start discussing with an old priest. So I don't have Noah's phone. Noah Wild. If he's watching, shout out to him. Cool dude. He's probably not watching. But if he is, cool dude.
Cool beans.
No, but I don't have Noah's phone number. I don't know how I don't have his phone number. What am I talking about?
The temple.
Temple.
There were people standing around.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about this. Okay, so you guys, you notice the temple is very, in compared to everything else in this city, that's so tight, this temple is big, is expansive, and it is made of beautiful white stone. As you guys are ascending these steps, you see that the steps themselves, but also like these railings. I mean, these steps are at least 30 feet, like 30 feet across from end to end, and they're big enough for you to at least take 3 or 4 steps on each step as you're ascending. You see, but all these steps and all the railings going all the way up are just covered in hieroglyphics. Just carved deep. These ones aren't painted. They're just left to be beautiful in sort of this bleak, sparse hieroglyphic form. But as you guys sort of ascend these stairs, you then reach sort of like the second area. And this is like almost like a temple courtyard, because like there's another set of like up here there's pillars. There's 6 pillars. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on each side. And they're these huge pillars, and they're tall. They're not holding up anything. They're just these pillars, and they are all covered in just tight spirals of this this hieroglyphic language that none of you understand. And they're just they're carved deep with it, and you see that people are hanging about in their shadows. You see. There are some people with tables selling incense and selling little animals, and then there are like there's a few
Live animals?
yeah, live animals.
Like for sacrifices.
Would seem to be.
What were you about to say?
Yeah, and there's also like a few little little almost like I don't know how to describe it, like almost like stone huts. They look more like bus stops than anything else, though. Just like to keep like benches with shade over top, scattered here and there. But at the end, if you pass through these columns, you see there's like another almost like a ziggurat type structure. It's only about 20 feet high. It's wide, much wider than it is tall. But at the top of the ziggurat, you see that there is an enclosed, smaller, almost chapel.
Do we know who this is a temple to?
Make a knowledge religion check.
Is Does anybody actually have points in that? Because I do not.
I got a 15.
14.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for Felix.
Yeah, Felix knows things.
Okay, so Felix would be able to. Felix would be able to. Yeah. Oh yes, this is a. This is a temple of. This is a temple of Amoshtep. Amoshtep.
Ah,
Amoshtep. He is a. He is a man with a lion's head, and he is the intercessor between Amansul and the human race.
are there any like images of this Amosh up?
There you don't see any, but there are various figures of like roaring lions. You're seeing constant lion imagery throughout the temple.
I'm gonna walk up to the priest. Excuse me. What or the whoever is selling the animals? What are these for sacrifices or something?
It's a very old, very wrinkled, clean-shaven priest. Oh yes, this is for the sacrifices to Moshta. We just had our worship last night. If you wish to if you wish to purchase some animals, I would probably purchase them later in the week.
Why does he sound like the bat from Anastasia?
Anastasia was a great movie.
Hello.
Oh hi
Noah
Noah.
has returned. Where were you, dude?
My data ran out on my phone. I was
I'm sorry.
driving.
We miss you. Okay, I thought that's what it sounded like. There were card noises. I was
Yeah.
very confused.
And then
We're at the temple. Oh, I'm sorry.
okay.
What were we saying?
Well, and then I realized halfway to college that I'd forgotten my laptop at home, which is kind
Oh
of
my
necessary.
gosh.
So I had to turn around. So now I'm back at my house where I started like 2 hours ago.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. Are you like staying for the night at least, or are you leaving again?
I'm gonna be leaving again, but I'm
Hmm.
gonna stick around for a little while so I can be a part of the game.
Yeah, for the temple. Sorry.
Oh gosh. But yeah, no, we're at the temple now.
Alright,
And you
so
have correctly identified it as the temple of Amushtep, who is the intercessor between the people and Amansul.
he's a lion-headed man demigod.
One of the three.
Yes.
Wait, a temple to a demigod?
Okay, so
Pretty
Interesting.
cool demigod.
this is something that would you like to take a crack at explaining that, Noah, if you know the reasoning behind it?
Sure. I mean, from what I understand, it's not so different from the way that Catholics dedicate cathedrals or churches to saints. They're like these things aren't recognized so much as deities, but as the sort of the patron intercessors with the one true solar god there. What's his name? Amansul. And there's three of them, each one with different representations. That the priesthoods are actually based around those rather than around Amansul itself.
It just seems
Interesting.
awfully big for. I mean, see, even St. Peter's Basilica isn't huge.
What?
The, nobody,
Last I heard, it wasn't.
none of you know what St. Peter's
St. Peter's
Basilica is.
Basilica in the Vatican?
Yeah, isn't it
Yes.
small?
No.
It's very large.
It's
So
flipping
perspective on
massive.
St. Peter's Basilica, like
I don't know
you could
anything.
put the entire of Notre Dame inside of it. Like it's insanely large.
Okay then.
In
Yeah, I
the
don't know
in
anything.
the center of the
I
cathedral,
mean, Notre Dame just burned down, so
You
well,
can fit Notre Dame pretty much anywhere.
You could fit it in the ashtray in my car. What?
oh my goodness. Anyway, like
I think there might be too
perspective
many
in the
ashes for that.
middle of St. Peter's, there is a great big marble tent tabernacle. It's like four big posts with a roof on them.
Mm.
It doesn't look all that big when you walk in because it doesn't even make it halfway to the ceiling. But it's actually 10 stories tall.
What's it called? Like that? inner spot. Is there like a spot inside the basilica? Because like my choir was supposed to sing there. Well, they did. I wasn't there. And there was a basilica, but I think there was something like I could be completely wrong, but I thought there was something within the basilica that they were singing, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but I could be completely wrong.
There could be a chapel inside the
It's smack
basilica.
dab in the middle of the church. I mean, anyway, St. Peter's is by far the biggest non-steel structured building I've ever encountered.
Okay then. So I'm completely wrong, so this temple makes sense then. Cool.
Alright, so, you're talking to this priest who's selling the live animals. They're mostly
Okay.
pheasants. Pheasants is what you're seeing.
Who's talking?
At the moment, Amari was.
I'm just gonna nod and thank him.
Okay, if there's anything else that you might need, please come to me.
Thank you.
Anytime. Ask any of the priests, they'll be happy to help you.
Thank you.
Alright, so, as you guys are, ascending, so, I'm sorry, I keep filling it. Are you guys gonna go to the top at the actual temple at the top?
Are we not in the temple?
You're in the temple courts. Like,
I wanted
getting...
to just try
Ew.
to find a priest, really.
Yeah, okay, so that guy selling animals was a priest. You see a couple other priests walking around.
I'd like
Money
to ask
changers
that
in the
priest.
temple.
Okay, so like, you guys like all turn around and go back to this priest who's like...
Yeah, I'd like to go back to that. I'd like to go to that priest and ask him. If I think I may have had a vision, who would I talk to try and understand it?
Oh, that, have you tried talking to a Moshtep?
No.
Perhaps you should try talking to a Moshtep. You see, he's actually gonna take you by the shoulder and like sit you down on a bench, and he's gonna sit down on the floor next to you. Oh, these old bones of mine. Now you see, my young friend, there are many cosmic mysteries. And, this is what the Moshtep is for. He is there to bless us with the explanation of the cosmic mysteries. Most of all, Aman Sul, may he be blessed forever. He is often there to reveal to the lost ones. And it seems to me that you are a bit lost now, my young friend.
Sure.
So, perhaps it might be best. He takes out, like, he reaches under his cloak and pulls out, like, a flower necklace. And, like, drips it around your neck. Drips? I went to college for English, people. Oh my word. He
It's
puts
like the
it...
dripping cloak. It's the dripping necklace.
Dripping cloaks and dripping necklaces.
Oh
That's the name
my.
of the episode.
Yep.
So he dangles it. He festoons your neck with it. There we go. What?
Felix finds himself being choked to death with...
And he goes, perhaps all you need to do is pray. Go to the temple. Go, my son.
Okay.
Say a prayer and see what the Moshtep says to you.
Sure. Worth a try.
As for the other two of you, have you any questions for me? Also, my young man, you did not tell me, what is this vision of?
It's of half stag, half man
Half
with a
stag.
big I forget if it was a hammer or an axe.
That is most interesting. I do not know of any such thing in the annals. I tell you what, there's a brother, there's a brother who he stays mostly by himself. He is a librarian. He might know. It is nothing from our scriptures, but I can see if he can help you. He's a foreigner. His name is Brother Ernst.
Okay, that would be great.
I will see what I can do. So the old man just kind of like slowly shuffles over to a younger, looks like an acolyte, and tells him to get him hence. Is there anything else you need from me?
I'd like to pull that charm off from around my neck with the symbol on it and walk up to him. It's so basically it's like a wooden charm. So I want to kind of like hold it out but keep a good firm grip on the cord so he can't actually take it from me. And just ask him, "Do you recognize this symbol?"
God's what have you gotten that? He immediately puts his hands around it. He doesn't pull it. He just looks around. Do you know what this is, my friend?
I have no idea.
This
I
is
picked this up off of an attacker that tried to kill me.
this is the symbol. This is the symbol of a cult. This is a cult that worships the dead Empress Celia.
Celia?
Sailor or Celia, whoever it depends. It depends on who you ask who to say it. Make a history check.
History is not one of the ones I'm good at. 5.
5. Okay. You remember that she's important in history?
Am I still standing there?
Yeah, you're still standing there. Make a history check.
Okay. I don't actually have my dice with me because of the whole traveling back
Yeah,
and forth
sure.
thing. Some roll a dice.
That's a natural 17.
All right. Well, then make that a 21.
21. Okay. You know Empress Celia. Celia was is what is considered to be the last true empress of Jalbar. She was the last of what was the original dynasty. She was of the queens who united the nomads and the merchants together into one nation under the pharaonic throne. She was the last. She was also the last empress to rule from this city. She was the last empress to rule out of Telmarna.
How do you spell Celia?
Saelleah.
Okay, thank you.
You know that her death is one of the most famous historical monument ever. She was slain by the Lord of Taikangaard. She was slain by Varian on the beach at the inlet of the inland sea. They fought on the beach for 4 hours in single combat until he finally slew her. This is essentially
That is stamina.
essentially
Seriously.
this is when they were considered to be they were the last two great heroes of the mythic age. And eventually he slew her, and at that point they had won. They had won the war. Varian had conquered the known world. To celebrate, they dragged the pharaoh's corpse through her hometown before they burned her and threw her in the river. That's essentially what you know is the end of Celia. That is I mean, that'd be pretty much all you know historically about her.
Okay.
You know that there are legends you do know that there was a great amount of unrest in her among the people, that she was never able to be given a proper burial. There have been rumors that there is a fabulous burial place, that her real body was not actually destroyed. You know that this is a pretty famous historical conspiracy theory, enough to make history books. And that there have been several scholars, there have been many Tabaxi scholars who have said that that wasn't the real empress who was burned and thrown in the river. That she was actually given a proper burial someplace.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna lean into him then and just kind of like lower my voice and say, should I destroy this symbol?
I would not keep it on you, my son. That cult is outlawed by our temple. If some of the younger priests were to see you, they may kill you on the spot.
Understood.
There are some that say because of her martyrdom she ascended to godhood. But our official position is that she was a martyr for our people, nothing more. You note that even though he's a human, he says our people.
Would it not be then utter? I mean, it's utter blasphemy to say someone can ascend to godhood, since is not Amun-Sul the only god?
Indeed, he is. There are many pretenders to his name, but there is only one Amun-Sul.
But with great belief in a single object to receive it, one can rise to great power. Not godhood, but power.
Oh yes, oh yes.
I'm trying to decide if I really want to do this. Okay. Do you know why the cult of Celia would be interested in having my head? I have only this past month been out of my workshop. Can you think of any reasoning that might present it?
You are an elf, no?
That is correct.
It is beyond me, friend.
That is a story I must solve for myself. Gonna pocket the charm. I'm not gonna put it around my neck this time.
Cool. Alright, are there any other questions, Amari?
I think I'm good for right now.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm like starting to drift.
Right. Any other thoughts? Anything else you guys want to do?
I mean, I was just gonna go up to the temple and pray, like he said.
Alright. So,
See if anything actually came of it.
alright, so, as you guys, proceed at the temple, you immediately see that there's a little bit of a crowd, gathering on the steps, and the sort of like the top of the platform of the ziggurat. You see, there a lot of people are kind of like trying to look around at something.
Okay. What are they trying to look around at?
Alright, so, if you guys
Is it
manage
even
to...
something I can see?
Yeah, no, so, like, you can't really see it, neither can unless you get, like, do you guys want to, like, force your way to the front, sort of?
I think I'd
Sure.
more slip my way to the
Yeah,
front
sure.
than force my way, but
But you
yeah.
guys slip your way to the front, and the thing you see is quite strange. You see kneeling before this leonine statue. You see this stone statue with highlights of gold. It's a powerful man, an almost beautiful man with a leonine head. And it's done. It's beautifully done. And he's sort of clutching a spear in one hand, and in the other he's like escalating the sun in like one hand, holding it up almost to the roof of the temple. Kneeling before him is a tabaxi. Stark naked, jet black fur, with these long hooking horns coming out from his head and over the top of his skull. Around his neck, he's wearing this pendant, this very heavy-looking pendant of what looks like a lion around his neck, and he is just holding both hands up to heaven, sort of in this, almost like this impassioned plea. You just hear just like it almost sounds like he's struggling. You can see his body's almost not moving. You can see his chest heaving in and out.
What is happening?
It's the general. It's the bigwig
I'd
that
like-
didn't want to let us out in the city for.
Yeah. I'd like to tap someone next to me and go, I can't see. What's happening?
You hear this lady goes, "You see, my dear, the general, he has been," it's an older woman, Lisa, "the general has been praying here since last night. He has been told, it's been prophesied by the priest. They have received word from the high priest, the husband of the pharaoh, that the general is going to have a vision of great importance, but he must first commune with Ameshtep. He has been communing with him since last night, at midnight."
Okay, thank you.
"You are very welcome." The general seems to be in some pain.
Does anyone else look concerned?
Yeah, people look pretty freaked out.
Are people all keeping a distance from him, or are
Yeah,
people continuing with praying and worshiping?
Make a perception check, all of you, for that. People are keeping a pretty good distance from the general.
What about the
Can I get
priest?
someone to roll for me again?
No, the funny thing is, of the priests, there's one on either side of like this statue. Nobody's near the general.
Do
Noah
they look
got a
concerned?
nat 20.
Nice.
Noah got a nat 20.
I got an 11.
Oh,
Felix.
I'm one perceptive blind kid right now.
Felix, you hear something. You hear almost like something else beyond the general's grunting, and you say, "Do you hear that?" And like everybody looks around, and you see you see sort of out of the way behind one of the pillars holding up the inner part of this ziggurat, holding up the roof at the top platform of the ziggurat. You see that there is a very well dressed another male tabaxi. With a sort of a brindle black and copper fur, and you see that he is bent. He's bent very humbly. Almost forehead to the ground. He's obviously trying to stay out of the way, but he is almost prostrating himself before this statue.
Does he match the description of the guy I told everyone sent the guy to follow us?
Oh, precisely.
Interesting. So the priests are. What did you say about
The
the
priests are. There's one priest on either side of the statue. Nobody is like. It's almost like everybody's like given like easily giving a 10-foot berth to the general.
But like, did the priest seem concerned?
No.
I will continue to observe.
Okay.
I'd like to ask the kind person who explained things to me. Why doesn't he sounds in pain. Why doesn't anyone go and help him?
He is communing with a god.
Yes.
Our mortal minds are only so much.
What do you mean that only so much? Is it going to kill him?
It has happened before. I saw it happen before once. There was a priest who tried to communicate with a Moshtep when I was a small girl. His brain exploded. It shot blood out his ears.
Can she please have said that like much louder than necessary?
She kept it quiet.
Dang it.
Not everybody has his little tact as Amari.
Amara's gonna like kind of stand a little bit ready, but she's definitely gonna have her quarterstaff.
Sure.
Does it look like he's being wounded or just feeling some kind of mental anguish?
Mental.
Is he asking for help or anything?
No. He hasn't said the coherent word.
Interesting.
Well, as much as Felix wants to do something for him, I don't think there is anything Felix can do for him, so.
Yeah.
If his brain explodes, Felix can do something then.
lay on hands on brain.
Yeah.
Just like pinkies in the ears.
Yeah, she's just gonna. Amara's gonna stand back and just wait.
To the contrary, if his brain explodes, I'm pretty sure he's going to be dead, and I don't think that helps with the dead.
Depends on how dead he is. And how much of his brain explodes.
You see that
Perhaps true.
You see that after a little bit of time, the Brindle and the Brindle Tabaxi, you see that he finishes his prayer, and he stands up and just sort of brushes himself off, and he's going to walk back and he's going to head back into the crowd.
Was I the only one who noticed him?
You figured out he was there, but you needed your two friends with sight to to figure out where he was.
Got it. Okay.
So he kind of pushes back into the crowd, and you're still the natural 20, so you're still able to follow him through the crowd. And you see, as soon as he steps out of the crowd, he is immediately he is heading downstairs. Immediately on his right, there is a huge knoll, well over 7 feet tall, with a sword across his back, very well dressed. Again, dressed somewhat in the way of a slave, like as in no, bare chested. Just very simple, outer garments for the lower body. But he has these. You've seen many with sort of bracelets that are either leather or some kind of metal, but the bracelets on this knoll are gold.
He doesn't look like the knoll that came in. It doesn't match anything like the symbol on the knoll that came into the guardhouse trying to commandeer it or whatever.
He is exactly that knoll.
Oh. Same one.
Same one.
Wait, what?
Felix was downstairs talking to all the guards while you guys were having a girls' night. And a knoll came in and had a conversation with the sergeant, was it? About wanting the sergeant to do something that the sergeant was refusing to do. for this Knoll's mistress. And he showed a
Oh,
symbol that
right.
made everybody act super reverent.
So this is the knoll that showed up
Yes.
the other night, last night.
So he and the Brindle Tabaxi are currently walking down away from the temple.
Interesting.
I would like to point out to my companions that I recognize the Knoll.
Really?
And from where? Yeah. He was in the tavern, the inn that we stayed in last night. And he came in talking about his mistress and showed a symbol, and the sergeant was unhappy.
So it seems like sounds like it's the same person, or at least this Brindle Tabaxi is related to whoever's lady that was. What do we want to bet that that lady is the same person who the slave that was talking to Ven? I mean, it seemed a bit overly coincidental that she would be staring at us and then suddenly a slave shows up that works for that guy, and then that guy suddenly shows up again with a giant knoll that was working for the lady who sent the slave after us the first time, and we're in a loop. They all seem connected, that's my point.
Sure, I'm going over there to pray.
Bye.
Where are you going to go to pray?
If your brain explodes, what do you want us to do with your body?
Bury it?
Okay. Can we keep your skull and we can add it to Stan's collection?
No.
Don't worry, I have all the skulls I need.
I'd like to go over where that other guy seemed to be praying, since
Okay.
that seems to be a place to pray that's not in the midst of Mr. Suffering General's path.
Mr. Suffering General, sir. Alright, so you step over there. How do you go about praying?
I have no idea. Being an oracle, I am used to drawing on divine power and having some kind of communication from gods, so I'm just going to try and do the reverse, I guess, and talk / feel / call on
Sure. Start
the
talking.
gods.
Alright, everybody, headphones off. Noah, start talking.
Okay. Talking what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, I don't know if you or if Amansul are the ones responsible for all that's happened to me in life. Given that most things I can do are related to the sun, I think maybe, but that's not the point. Right now, I think you can maybe explain why I randomly woke up in the desert with all these random people that I'd kind of like to know. And I mean, if nothing else, all of the stuff that I've been through and been given as this connection to deity, could it come in handy so that I could at least get an explanation for this?
Okay, so you ask this prayer and nothing happens.
Okay.
Nothing happens? How long are you gonna wait?
The whole religion seems to be focused around prostrating yourself and just waiting.
Yes.
So I'm gonna sit there and just think those words and then just power all my emotion behind it as much as I possibly can.
Alright. So you're at the point when you're almost ready to give up. Now you're approaching like 15-ish minutes with
Okay.
nothing, and then all of a sudden, you feel like the fact that you're prostrating yourself, like you're prostrating yourself on your knees. All of a sudden, it's like your knees are like almost like somebody grabbed your ankles and just ripped your knees out from under you, and you fall flat on your face. And you feel your body start to shake and tremble.
Oh, snap.
You open your eyes and you're standing on a mountain. You're standing on a lone mountain in a desert. Matter of fact, you look down, this isn't even a mountain, this is a pyramid. You are standing at its apex against all laws of physics. You are staring straight up at the sun. You are staring directly into the sun. It is burning into you. You can't shut your eyes. It is so bright you cannot see anything. It is shining, it is shining, it is getting closer. It is getting hotter. It is getting closer and hotter. And for a second you see the sun start to almost morph into what looks like a lion. And the lion, at first, you're very afraid of it. But then a feeling of peace almost starts to wash over you. You hear what begins to sound like a deep, kind-hearted laugh begins. Oh, there is nothing to be afraid of, my little one. And immediately, you feel like you watch the sky starts to like peel away, almost like an egg, and just start to fall piece by piece around this pyramid in the desert, streaking down in these great lines as the sky slowly breaks apart and fades to black. And there, in this infinite, utter blackness above you, above this desert landscape that is illuminated in this strange, frightening grayscale, looming, phantasmagoric, beyond the horizon with this strange blue scene, you see the same stag-headed woman with the axe across her shoulders, and she is laughing. And she is laughing at you.
Okay.
You wake up, you're lying on your back, convulsing and shrieking, surrounded by people. Everybody, earphones back on! Earphones back on. Earphones back.
Hello.
There we go. Earphones back, people. Earphones back. Alright, so Amari and Then, all you know is that your friend went to pray for about 10 minutes. Now he is
I'm
currently...
not sure they're back.
I'm here.
It's Gabrielle.
I messaged her.
Okay, you're back. Okay, cool. Alright, so the two of you in the temple, Amari and Then, all you know is that your friend was praying for about 10 minutes. All of a sudden, he just flipped over on his back and started shrieking and convulsing.
I'm gonna run over and try and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that's not normal.
So Felix, immediately you like stop and you're just like shaking and you look around and all these people that were staring at the general are now like staring at you. The general has not moved. He is still in one place.
What just happened?
What'd you see there, bud?
I'd like to try and get to my feet.
I'll help him up.
Do
How
any
many
priests
fingers-
come over or anything?
The priests do not move.
Interesting.
How many fingers am I holding up?
3?
Okay. So you're
I'm
not
blind. Why do you expect me to be able to see this?
Because it's within 30 feet of me, Felix. I was making sure you weren't more blind now. What happened? Are you okay?
I don't think so.
Do you want to go and talk about it?
Not here.
So I mean, do you want to leave and go and talk about it?
I definitely want to leave.
Alright, so,
Okay.
as you guys are kind of being escalated, you hear people back, "What happened? What happened? This is bad. This is very bad. I am going
Go
home
back
for
to
the
your
day."
prayers.
So all the
Back to your
people are...
prayers. The priest will take care of you.
So
He's fine.
as the people are gathering, Noah, you pass within 30 feet of the general. For those of you who are passing, you hear that he's gone more... It's gone to like a moan. You see that there is almost like a trickle of blood coming down from his nose across his lips. But as he passes you, Noah, Felix, you see even in his dazed, transfixed state, his wide open eyes follow you as you go past him, and for a second, your eyes meet.
Okay.
Your eyes like totally went cross-eyed for about 5 seconds and just ruined the image.
Like, does he seem to, like, our eyes meet? Does he have any kind of recognition of that I'm there?
I mean,
Or like a change in expression, or?
there's no change in expression, but he is staring dead into your eyes. To you, it feels like he's staring dead into your soul.
I'm just gonna leave. I want to get out of here. This is freaking me out.
Okay.
Same.
Alright, so you guys rush out of the temple of Amoshtet in the very heart of Telmarna. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we close?
Well, we should probably go over to the search for the wizard/sorcerer.
I mean that was a private errand for your sister.
Was it?
I honestly
Yeah.
don't care if anyone finds me.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to find someone to talk to about losing our memories. And
Okay.
desert.
I will say that this much happens. You guys, in your quest, you guys are unable to find her right away. But until so if you guys couldn't find her right away, what would you guys do?
Probably head back to the inn.
I will say this much. You guys, on the street that leads up to the inn, at the entrance of the side street, you see your sister appear. Your sister is wearing a flowered headdress and carrying a lantern and a pail.
I'm what?
I'm sorry. What?
And,
What?
and on that note, we're going to close. You guys have a great night. What?
Can I get some clarification, preferably on why the hell I'm wearing a dress, a flowered dress, and carrying a pail and a lantern?
All right, you folks have
I am very confused.
You guys have a fantastic night. Can we go to quotes, please?
Frick, I had something I wanted to have get done tonight, but alright, you wanna take the first one, Tasha?
Alright. I am still the equivalent of a cocktail waitress!
Personify the cloak, Gabrielle. Man, I have to be on this guy. I want to be his cloak. Why do I have to be on this guy?
I think it was
Tasha.
this smoke, but I forgot to finish writing it. I will stop and buy a melon!
You imitate the accent really well, actually. You even use some of the local greetings, Andrew. Hi, y'all!
I can't misgender somebody I just made up!
Oh, and here it is. I have purchased my hefty stack of balls, apparently.
What?
That was right, no, here.
Thanks, Dr. Seuss. Tasha, there's a wall. It is a tall wall. It's in the air. With lots of stairs. Gabrielle. Then he will stand on the wall and pull out his ball.
If I think I had a vision, who would I go to try to figure it out? Felix. Have you tried speaking to a Moshtep priest? No.
Oh.
I had something I really wanted to get done tonight. But
I'm sorry.
Do you know what it was?
Well, out of curiosity, what was it?
well, it was gonna be just a conversation between Tasha and I because it was going to be a sibling argument kind of thing. But if we're all going to be staying in the same room, it kind of pertains to everyone.
Okay.
So it was gonna be something I was gonna hold till over the week, but
I'm sorry about that, guys. If you're okay with that taking place next week, is that all right?
yeah.
so-
Hopefully I don't forget.
All right. So, the session went off the rails pretty hardcore.
Oh, but it was funny.
Oh
I
dear.
was seriously pretty freaked out. That was
I really want to know what the heck just happened.
Yeah.
Same.
Like, do we have to end right now? Can't we at least get back to the hotel and like have our little recounting of the day? So we don't have
Also,
to wait
why
until
am I in a
next week
dress?
and try to figure it out.
You're wearing a flowery
Why am
headdress.
I wearing a flowery headdress?
I'll say
Are you drunk?
I'll,
The suspense.
I'll say this much. It has to do with your visit to the wizard.
Oh God.
I am not looking forward.
I'm so confused. Why is a wizard giving me a flower? Why is a wizard having problems with how I dress?
Tasha, do you want to run through this scene?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very confused.
Okay, alright, so earlier,
I do not deal well with confusion or not knowing things.
so you're skulking through the markets earlier with your just a mysterious woman walking around carrying her melon. as you wander through the side streets, watermelon in hand.
Vietnam melon.
There's this little theme song. Tasha and her watermelon. Tasha and her. No, oh my word. So, you
Do
guys.
not mind the elf with the watermelon.
It's not mind the elf.
Let them alone.
So as you're going, you ask people for where there might be a wizard, and everybody starts directing you back up towards a slightly sketchier part of town. Multiple people do this, until finally you come to, basically there's a row of houses, but in place of one of the houses, there's like a big red tent. And people told you, look for the big red tent.
Okay. Guess I'm going to the big red tent.
So as soon as you enter, it is pitch black. And the curtains shut behind you.
Hello?
A crystal ball springs to life in the middle of the room.
Does this place seem like a total fraud?
Behind, you see an very ancient woman curled up around the ball. Come in, my dear. Come closer.
Does she
Closer.
seem like a total fraud?
Make a purtle dirtle check.
A perdurtle check?
A purtle dirtle check.
Inspect motive. What's it called?
A smectinotive.
Sense motive.
That's what it,
That's a big old 12.
big old 12. She seems a little legit.
Oh God. Hi there.
Oh god.
Come in, foreigner. Come in. Come in.
I'm gonna have done the same, like the face wrap thing.
Yes.
Ben is trying. Ben is very weirded out by
Sure.
people following them. I'm
Let's
just gonna cover my face and hope people don't notice me.
sit down and show me your face.
I'm sorry, that's against my religion.
Very well, very well. Your name smells of flowers. Yeah.
Yo.
Okay, that's legit.
Your past
legit for like half our party.
smells of blood. Your
It does?
future. Your future. Your future has a smell which I cannot place.
Well, that's not cryptic or anything.
Convenient.
You will meet the stranger tonight. he will tell you two things. One of little importance, one of great importance. Yes. Yes, I smell it. Your future has much glory in it. It has gold. Yes, and
That is making a very
roses.
strange face.
And roses and blood.
Well, that's just peachy.
For these services that I have provided and have not yet completed, I will demand of you something. I am not interested in your money, my dear, but I am interested in a boon of yours.
In a what?
A boon.
I feel like you probably should have told me the price before you started making me, you know, just
All
spouting out information.
things have a price.
Well, I mean, what boon do you want?
That will be for me to name.
I'm not necessarily willing to make a deal without knowing what I'm paying.
You don't know why you're here, do you?
That's a very existential question. This is really weird.
The desert is a very big and very dangerous place, my dear. Who would ever go to sleep in the middle of one?
Did you say don't?
Said,
Or have
she
you?
said, who would ever go to sleep in the middle of one?
I mean, I'd guess travelers.
He said, but you are then a traveler.
What boon do you want?
This entire conversation is just one big quotes list entry.
I want the David boon.
Do you
Oh,
mean
there's a squeak.
Daniel? Wait,
Whatever.
wait, did we just forget which boon is boon? Wait.
Just darn it, boon boon.
Daniel, boon.
It's like a bonbon, but worse.
Her boon is for you to wear a flowered headdress.
There is.
It is Daniel.
Fine then. I will ask you this boon. This boon. You must carry with you a vessel for mother's milk.
What?
You must carry a light.
Boob?
She's already got a melon. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
Okay, I started it.
You guys are ruining my cool scene!
It's squeaking. It's worth it.
There are no boobs in fortune telling.
Oh my god. So I'm carrying a bucket and a light. How is this a boon to you?
Because
It's
that's a boon to you.
It's a boon.
I just went with some random accent. I don't know, I was getting a kick out of Melon y'all conversation, and now.
And you must wear the clothes of a festival. For today will be a festival in the epic of your life. This day, this walk you must take will set the path for you.
The path or the past?
The path.
It will set the path free, she said.
Set the path for you.
For you.
support you.
I am extremely weirded out.
Very well.
So, your boon is to walk around with a bucket and a lantern.
Yes, all you must do. And this headdress, she like shoves this out, she like kicks it out from under the table. It's like you're getting intense Carmen Miranda vibes from this.
I came with a very specific question.
What is your question? I come with vague answers.
Yes, you do. Uh,
Breaking the fourth wall there.
Breaking the wall. Breaking the wall. This is why you don't get anything done, you guys.
I should have gone into stand-up comedy.
We'd be.
That's my path stand-up comedy.
Word.
I shall quit being a shady tinkerer and get on stage and perform.
Oh gosh. He goes from a tinkerer to a bard.
So, would you happen to know why a bunch of people might have, say, lost their memories and woke up in a desert? And would you maybe be able to articulate that in clear terms?
Oh my. The Hunter Moon knows all. The Hunter Moon sees all. You
Do I know what a hunter moon
are
is?
she. They are she. She is them. She is all. You are all. Black roads in moonlight, leading to silent tombs. Silent tombs.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last bit.
Black roads under moonlight, leading to silent tombs. Tombs of majestic dead. Tombs of unpeaceful dead. Tombs best left unspeaken. Hunter Moon, eyes of iron, eyes of iron. Ivory goddess watching. Ascendancy, ascendancy. Rise, children of night, rise, rise.
Children of night or might?
Night. Rise, O majestic dead. To the forgotten city, to the land, her city with no name lies mouldering under sand. There kneel in the forgotten temple. Hunter's moon, hunter's moon, ivory goddess burning bright. If the sky should break and fall, kneel at the black temple. Kneel at the black temple and call her name. She will answer all.
I'm sorry, who is she?
At that moment, the crystal ball extinguishes.
I feel like that didn't really fill the clarity part of the request.
No response. No response at all.
Well, shit.
Tasha in the dark to herself.
That one just came out with the southern accent.
Yes, it did.
Dang gummit.
If everybody could remove your headphones for a second, except Tasha.
Oh god. I'm very confused.
Everybody be watching for everybody be watching. All right, so there's no sound in here. There is no light. It is pure and utter black.
Like the kind that definitely shouldn't be
Yes.
when this is in an outdoor area.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
This is freaky. How far away was I from this woman?
About 6, 7 feet.
I'd like to walk forward.
Nothing.
She's just vanished. The
Entirely.
table with the crystal ball is vanished.
Entirely.
Can I light a candle? Or torch or some other form of light?
Sure, you pull out a candle. And, as you're lighting it, the wick won't catch. The wick isn't catching. The wick, it's just, you're putting fire on it and nothing is happening.
I have dark vision. I can't see.
No, you cannot.
Oh, I know how Felix feels.
Alright.
Is the fabric still on the ground? Or did it just vanish with her?
You can still feel it beneath your feet. Tasha? There you go. Hold on. Hold on, you froze up for a second. It's still on the ground beneath your feet.
Just be clear.
Hold on.
She's vanished with the table.
Yep. Yes, the woman has vanished. The table is still there. Oh, sorry, no, I'm sorry, the table's gone, the woman's gone, but the fabric you still feel beneath your feet. I didn't catch that. You're breaking up really bad, Tasha.
Basically everything had fabric vanished.
I heard something after she vanished. Try again to say something. Pretty bad. Are you gonna try and head out the way you came in? Okay. Alright, so as you're walking back towards the entrance, all of a sudden you feel like almost if all the slack goes out of the ground, almost all the tautness goes, and you sort of like step through the fabric, you sort of feel yourself falling through. You grab out at anything and you just slip through the floor. You slip like through this tent, and you're surrounded in fabric as you're falling.
Can I get out of it?
Can you grab it?
Get out of the fabric.
I can't make out what you're saying. Oh my word, well, I just realized we have dead air. We have completely dead air. Yeah, no, this is Andrew. I know we're having a slightly extended session, everybody. Please remain calm as we extend into our holding pattern over the Telmarna International Airport. Thank you all for your patience. Please forgive us. I know the session's running a little later than they normally do. I'm putting on my best. This is your captain speaking voice. Tasha has entirely disappeared from this conversation, which is okay. Please, enjoy this view of Gabrielle. She's awesome. I love her very, very, very much. I like everybody in this group. I think I can say I love everybody in this group, but I love Gabrielle very, very much. She's fantastic. She's a wonderful person, Internet. I hope you all appreciate what a wonderful person she is, and the wonderful person that she's becoming and is going to be in the future. She's just a fabulous person. I'm very, very blessed to have her in my life. And I know she doesn't really usually watch our old streams. She will never know that I complimented her a bunch on the internet. I think that's pretty awesome, because you guys deserve to know how awesome she is, and how very much I love her. And now we return to Telmarna Air. We're slowly circling as Tasha resurrects the corpse of her internet, and joins us. Okay, everybody. If everybody could put their headphones back on. Headphones back on. Headphones back on. There we go.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. So what happened is Tasha's internet crapped out entirely. So we're not entirely sure when she'll be back. Yeah. So right now we're just gonna go for this. I'm gonna keep the stream up just so we can finish the stream. Just finish the stream with what we started. Is there anything else that you guys so is there anything else that you guys want to take care of just as long as we're on stream before we go?
There was, well, I was, yes, but it's fine.
Okay, what did you want to take care of?
No, it's gonna take like a good 5-10 minutes.
And you need Tasha for it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we back?
We are back right now. I'm sorry. We Tasha's scene was almost over, but I had to leave out the ending. As her internet crapped out, just sort of like right at the end. So the ending is nothing secret. I can be straight up about the ending with all you guys. Just so that's why I just want to keep it. So thank you so much all for your patience. We're really kind of over all over the place. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to try and just settle on stream in session before we break for this week?
I'm set.
I mean, we're gonna have to do a debrief of Felix at some point, because I'm sure everyone in the party wants to know what's going on with him. I don't know if that's a thing to wait for next session for.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's pretty good? I'm confused.
Huh?
What's pretty good?
I said no. I think that's a pretty good idea. That's what I meant.
Waiting for next session.
For you guys to for you guys to do a full debrief. Essentially, you know what, guys? I think that's gonna be about it. I'll just pretty much just tell Tasha what happened at the end of her vision, and I think we're gonna wrap up for the night. Thank you guys all for your patience. Thank you for going through a weird session. I hope you all enjoyed out there in internet land. You guys are the best. Good night, Kira.
Good night, Scott.
All right,
We do not say goodnight to the Scott.
You know, I think we should say goodnight to Scott. Wait. Oh, wait. I have to rename the episode. What are we naming the episode?
We had an idea and I forget what it was.
Freaky visions and convulsing children.
Let's not call it that.
Something about balls.
How about screaming children? Freaky visions and screaming children.
Balls and melons.
I'm going with that one.
I don't like you people.
It's okay. All right. That's gonna be it. You guys all have a fantastic stinking night. Bye now.